those are just contrails from the airplanes. And I'm like, but they don't go away. This is being forced. It's coming in every which way. And we're eating it, we're drinking it, we're breathing it. So she started asking questions and they were grilling her. They were like, we're gonna put you in an insane asylum. Who's gonna take care of your daughter?
Why he's not in jail? People fucking died.
Well, it's a revelation of the method. They just told you what they're doing, and silence is consent. So there's a barrier above us. Some people think it's like a dome. I think it's more of like a toroidal field, energetic, where you can't pass, you can't get through. They tried with the missiles. They knew exactly that they can't get out of here. So they have to fake it. They have to create NASA. They have to pretend and put fisheye lenses on their cameras to take a straight horizontal line and bend it evenly. But Neil deGrasse Tyson said, you don't see the curvature of the Earth, where it's scraping, it's surfing on the water above, and you see the ripples of water coming from behind it. Hold on, if you're going into space, why don't you just go straight up? In Level With Me, we had to sneak into NASA's facility. You're not a fucking hero to us, you're a fraud. Right. And we're going to question you to your face. I want to fuck with them because they have lied to us. Right. And I'm sick of the lies. They should not be dealt with courtesy and respect anymore. I want to bombard these motherfuckers and actually go up to them and be like, you are a liar. We all know.
Sean Hibbler is an independent filmmaker, researcher, and truth seeker known for his thought-provoking documentaries that challenge mainstream narratives. Through his work, he dives deep into controversial and often hidden topics, encouraging audiences to question what they've been told and think for themselves. With a bold, unapologetic style, Hibbler blends cinematic storytelling and investigative insight to expose lies and uncover deeper truths. His recent movie, Chemtrails, premiered in fall 2025. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I would love to start actually not with the flat earth because we're going to touch that topic as well today, sure. But I would love to start with the Chemtrails, or your movie that is named Climate Trails.
Yes.
So this is, according to the ChatGPT, it says that this is kind of still a conspiracy theory, right? So the short answer is no, chemtrails are not real in the sense claimed by conspiracy theories. But at the same time, if I ask, how about Florida and Tennessee banning it then? How can you ban that? Is basically a conspiracy, a theory, right? Yes, several U.S. states have recently passed or proposed law banning weather modification or geoengineering activities. So is it a conspiracy theory?
No, it's not a conspiracy theory. I mean, when you take a look, maybe 10 years ago, it would have been written off as that. I mean, I was screaming about them 10 years ago and no one would talk about it.
And back then you lived here in L.A.?
Yes.
And you saw it firsthand?
Oh, yeah, I saw it all the time. I saw when I was born and raised in Chicago. Even before LA, I was in Chicago, and I saw them all the time. I used to get in arguments with my family, and they're like, nope, those are just contrails from the airplanes. And I'm like, but they don't go away. Contrails, we see contrails. That's when when it's cool up there and it's the right conditions, you'll see this trail coming out of the plane, and it follows the plane. So you'll see that white trail, but it disappears within 10 seconds. That's
okay.
That's normal. That's, condensation. Those are real. But,
yes.
But what's also real is when they're spraying heavy metals out of it, and they usually do it in a form of an X. It's like X marks the spot. I think it's like something that they just like to do.
You mean two planes going like this?
I've seen that, but I've also seen a plane do their own, where they like there's an app, and we go over this in the film Chemtrails. But there's an app called Flight Radar 24. It's kind of like where if you see a helicopter in the sky and you're kind of like, why is there a helicopter above me? What's going on? You can open the app and you see the helicopter on the map. You click it, it'll give you the information, where they're going, their destination, and all this stuff, right? Yeah.
All of the planes and helicopters?
All the planes. Now, I'm not going to say all, especially with some of these contracted chemtrail planes, but when you do see some chemtrail planes on there, they will be registered in the airspace. So anyone can do this. They open the app up, especially if you see a jet spraying you and you're like, that looks like chemtrails. Let me see. You can open the app and you see its route. Now, imagine this. So just say that there's a plane, normal plane, Southwest Airlines or something like that, Delta, and they're going from Boston to, California or something like that. And you just want to track it. You see the route. So you see a straight line from Boston to California, and you see where they're landing. That's normal. That's normal activity.
Okay.
But these chemtrail jets, when you look, man, that looks like chemtrails. You click on the plane, the route is literally zigzags over an area. They're just going like this, back and forth.
So you want to tell me that there are specific planes that do that, not commercial flights?
I don't think they're commercial flights, no. I think that they're, based on my research, it looks like it's a lot of military operation, NASA, and also just smaller planes, contracted planes through either, they have contracts with through the NOAA Library with companies called like Weather Modification Incorporated.
Okay.
Now, just that in the name itself, like really, that's the name of the corporation that owns a lot of these jets, Weather Modification Incorporated.
Yeah.
What are they doing? And then when you look at where they're going, they're literally, the route's just going like this, where there's no destination for them. What are you doing? Where are you going?
Nobody asked them those questions?
Well, yeah, I mean, Catherine Sari was one of the first people. I hope there's copycats. So in the film, I don't know if you remember, this is probably, I want to say 9 months ago or so. She was very viral on social media, TikTok, X.
What's her name?
Catherine Sari. She goes by Mellow Cat. She had a conversation with the chemtrail pilots. She actually waited till they landed because of the app. She tracked it. And then what she did was she went to the NOAA Library, the FAA website, and she typed in the plates and she could see who owns it, where they're going, who's in charge. And she found the guy named Jody Fisher, who's in charge of Weather Modification Incorporated. Of course, Jody Fisher wasn't flying the plane, but she knew all this information. She also used to be a private stewardess on jets, like a stewardess. So she knows like the lingo of airports, especially smaller private airports, like how to fit in where it looks like she's there for a reason, right? So she waited till this guy landed. She tracked it. She was spraying. This guy was spraying over her house during the day and at night. They did two rounds above her house. So she called her friend. She's like, let's just go to the airport. And she put her phone in her pocket to record. And she walked, this is in the film, she walks up to the pilot and they have a conversation and she just drills him. You're spraying, aluminum, barium, strontium. I've tested the samples. And she's just going at it and they don't deny it. They don't say.
Where was this?
This was in, I think, Modesto, California, up by Sacramento, around there, a little east of there.
Yeah.
But, you would expect these pilots to be like, what are you talking about, lady? I don't know what you're saying. Like, what do you mean we're spraying? Like, we just, no, but they were in defense mode. And then they're saying, like, that's not my department. You got to talk to the boss and stuff.
I'm just doing my job.
And yeah. And she was saying, oh, you mean Jody Fisher? And they're, oh, yeah, Jody Fisher. Like, they know who that is. That's their boss. And she's like, we've been trying to get a hold of Jody Fisher for months now. No call back, no email back. So now we're coming to you. You're spraying us. Yeah, but that's not our department. You got to talk to him. And basically, when you see the film, there's no denying that these guys know what they're doing. And they also said stuff in the conversation like, well, the public knows we're doing it. It's it's already public knowledge. And she's like, no, it's not.
No,
and he goes, well, it's not illegal. And she goes, well, not yet, because obviously it's California. They're not. You guys might be last in banning geoengineering, but the problem, even with Tennessee, because I had the Tennessee state rep in the film, the first guy in the history of mankind to get the bill passed through the legislation to ban geoengineering in the state of Tennessee. So I had to sit down with him. I'm like, you're an OG.
And
like,
what year was that? The law passed
last year.
Last one only.
Last year.
Okay.
Tennessee was first, and then Florida. Florida, actually, in the making of it all, Florida just passed it, but we were kind of wrapping production, so it's like we had to finish the film. I couldn't wait another couple months to sit down with someone from Florida. But I got the first guy to ever do it, Monty Fritz, the state rep, and and he worked his ass off to get this done. The problem, though, even if all 50 states ban it, they're still spraying.
Why?
Because just like border lines, from border to border, that's legally a state, right?
Right.
You're in the borders. Now, what about above? 4,000 feet's the cutoff. So above 4,000 feet, you're no longer in the state of Tennessee.
So what, you can explode
federal airspace now. So the government owns the airspace above 4,000 feet. So whether it's NASA or private contractors or military, they're still spraying all these states. Even when Tennessee banned it, like I was happy. I didn't know these regulations, this 4,000 feet stuff. I didn't know that at first. So I was excited. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, Tennessee's first. They're gonna have clear blue skies every day. This is awesome. A couple days later, I go on X and the people are like, they're still spraying. Like, what's going on? So what happened when Florida passed the geoengineering bill to ban it? They did something that Tennessee didn't do. Now Tennessee did it now, but back then Tennessee just had like I think a fine or something like that. Just a fine if you're spraying, right? Yeah, not a big deal. Florida said, okay, we're going to raise that to $100,000 fine and it's going to be considered a felony. So I don't know exactly how they're going to do that, but I think that if they find, like, if they zoom in, maybe use a Nikon P900 or something, zoom in and get the plates, they can fine them, they can bring them to court. It's a long process, but I look at it like this, you know, for someone like Bobby Kennedy, who everybody, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, I like Bobby Kennedy, you know, he's against vaccines, even though he approves vaccines all the time, right in your face. So I don't know. But he tweeted maybe 9-10 months ago on his official X, he tweeted a picture of chemtrails, and it says, we are going to stop this crime, right? And got everybody talking like, oh my God, like they're going to get rid of chemtrails once and for all. Bobby's in the office now. Yawn. Nothing. Nothing happened. He was also interviewed about this on some show a few months ago, and they brought that up, and he had to dumb. He's like, oh, I don't really know who's doing it. It might be DARPA or someone. We're not really too sure who's doing it. Like, hold on. You're acknowledging that it's happening. You've tweeted about it. Right. You've spoken about it. Right. Now you're in the administration. You have all the power. You can look at Donnie Boy and his whole family and go, hey, we have the military. This is our department. Everyone military, I need you guys to chase these bastards down. And when they land, you know, force them to land and arrest them on site. That's something that if I was Bob Kennedy, if I was Robert Kennedy and you were Trump, why wouldn't we do that right away? We have the power to do that. They're not doing anything to stop this.
Well, Trump said he's going to stop Ukraine and Russia war day one, right? Month 10th.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. It's all theater. They're all. I personally think, and I might be going on a limb here, but I think they're all friends. Biden, Hillary, all of them. They're all friends. Obama. They
chit chat every time they meet.
Yeah.
And at the funeral, like laughing.
Yeah, laughing.
Bro,
passing notes.
Yeah.
And shit.
You said you're gonna put his wife in jail.
Yeah. And you're
laughing, sharing a conversation, bro. You don't ever do that with an enemy, quote unquote.
It's all talk.
Right.
It's during the campaign. We're going to release 9/11 files. We're going to tell you the truth on 9/11. We're going to tell you the truth on JFK, the Epstein files. We're going to do this.
Yeah, but they released the JFK files, right?
Yeah, and it's Israel.
Can you just name it? Then give me a name of the killer.
No, they just wanted to release it and say, look, we did that. Now you guys read it. And
but then they gaslight you and they say Epstein does not exist at all. It's like nothing to see there.
What a slap in the face.
Right.
Just a slap in the face.
Okay, so chemtrails being sprayed on 4,000 feet.
4,000 feet and below is illegal. Well, who the hell flies 3,000 feet anyway?
Commercial flights, they fly at 30,000 feet.
And these chemtrail jets are even higher than commercial jets, generally speaking. So it's kind of like the ban does nothing, but it still does in a sense because it raises awareness, right? It brings it into the news. It helps the normies understand that this is a real thing.
Right.
And I think that because more than half the country right now has a ban in place. They have a geoengineering ban in place. I don't know about California, maybe, but I'm sure they'll say no. But either way, even if we had all 50 states ban it, which I think is the next step, we need the entire country, state to state, banning geoengineering. Now all the pressure's on the federal government because the states have a lot of power. The states have more power than the federal government.
Yes.
So if all the states go, we banned it, you guys are still doing it. Now the buck stops with them. Now they could, they could bring real pressure to the federal government and hold them accountable for it. And I think that's got to be the next step. If the whole country bans it state by state, and they're still spraying, I mean, the federal government's going to be held liable at that point.
Okay, so this is America. What about other places on Earth? Let's say Europe. Let's say Russia, China, India, Australia, Africa.
Africa, that's one of the only there's some parts of different countries that don't spray, but as far as I know, Africa for sure is one of them. That like most, I would say 99% of the year they're chemtrail free.
Okay, why do they do that? What's the purpose? The official narrative.
Oh, the official narrative? Yeah. So they call it now because, real quick, conspiracies have steps. There's stages they go through, right? Usually at first they get made fun of and denied, where only people like us would talk about it and have a conversation about it. We're just tinfoil hats and stuff. It's never in the public eye. It's just stuff that we talk about. And then what happens is that they start denying it. Once it gets a little bit higher, more popular,
More attention.
the mainstream they'll force their way to deny it, right? They'll have articles, they'll have, calling us names, and they have to address it, but they deny it.
Fact checkers appear.
Correct. And then once it gets out of control and it's way too many people talking about it, like present day, now they have to accept it, and they pretty much create a new conspiracy on what they're doing. So when they made that shift, because too many people knew about it, when they made that shift, they call it stratospheric aerosol injections. That's the official name for it. And they're releasing metallic particles in the sky to block the sun, because the sun can kill you.
Who gave them the authority?
They don't need authority. They run the country. This is the military industrial.
But I'm not the slave.
Yeah. Well,
I'm supposed to breathe fresh air and get the sunlight.
no.
If I get cancer, I get cancer.
According to them, the sun rays are harmful, so they need to shield it. They need to block the sun. The UK just released an article not even a month or two ago saying that they got the green light to block the sun in the UK now. So now...
With spraying.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like my wife's from the UK, so her family, we check in and stuff like that, and her friends back there, and the spraying is out of control in the UK
UK
right
is
now.
so fucked. I know. On all aspects. Like, you name it. They're
bad.
Fucked.
It's bad, and they're opening the floodgates with immigrants and everything else. It's kind of like, I don't mean to sound like this, but I feel like taking a step back, not even really geoengineering per se, but just a step back and look at it at the world. It's like there's no more white people countries. It's all, everything's a melting pot now, and it used to be pretty diverse. All the countries, you rewind 100 years ago, it was Japan and Japanese,
Which is beautiful.
German and Germans.
Right.
I get that melting pots are fine, but not when it seems like there's been an attack on the white race, and it's like we're losing our identity at that point.
I would say not even only on white race, but on all the races. They're trying to mix it up.
Yeah, well, that started a long, long time ago, and especially in America. This is one of the biggest melting pots, but now it's kind of getting out of control, man, and it sucks. But I still look at the geoengineering spraying as kind of a two-part system, where one side of it, it's making, breathing in metal. I mean, it's more dangerous than eating aluminum, like no one's going to eat their aluminum foil. They know it's bad for you. It's not good for you. But inhaling, it's worse for your health.
Without you even knowing it.
Correct. Or without you consenting, how can you stop it?
Right.
It's getting past the blood-brain barrier. It's going into the brain. It's making us lose our memory. I mean, Blue Cross and Blue Shield released an article recently, actually, not too long ago, saying that Alzheimer's and dementia are at all-time high, and 30 and 40-year-olds are getting it now.
Alzheimer's?
Yeah, no more grandpa only. It's 30 and 40-year-olds are getting Alzheimer's, and that's the heavy metals in the brain. It's causing these diseases. So they're really making the human race not only docile, but they're making it so they're losing their mind, losing their memory, having very bad health conditions from all these metals. That's one part of it. The other part of the health side of geoengineering and the spraying that we breathe in is it replaces the important metals in our bodies. So as we know, we need calcium for our bones, right?
Right.
Well, if we're breathing in, say, strontium's going to come into the body, kick the calcium out because it's stronger metal, and replace it in your bones. And that's why there's a lot more osteoporosis and arthritis. And people just kind of, it's in the family, it's genetics. No, it's not. It's not genetics. It's what we're breathing in, what we're eating. And it's also, remember, it's falling on our crops. So it's falling on our food. We're growing a garden in our yard, and the metal just falls every day, every night onto our plants, and lands in our water, our drinking water. So we're eating it, we're drinking it, we're breathing it.
Without getting any consent. Okay, so guys, there is one issue that I have to address. I believe YouTube is going to demonetize this video and even try to erase it. So it's crucial, if you are still watching this, if you're still seeing this right now, please like this video, share with all your friends, peers, and loved ones. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that already, and please leave a comment below. Guys, I don't have any sponsors. I'm not trying to sell you NFTs, crypto scams, and everything in between. So please, your contribution, your free contribution by subscribing, liking, sharing, and commenting below helps my channel a lot. And please, watch this video till the very end. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Not all the states are covered, not all the cities, towns, villages, or let's say regions are covered with chemtrails, right?
It's kind of hard to say it that way because
I told you, we live in the valley. It's
yeah,
like
tell them.
98% of the sky is like perfect blue, like right now. Maybe 2 days, 3 days, up to 10 days in a year, I can see that there are chemtrails.
Sure.
But I have a friend in Newport Beach. He's always posting every day the stories, and it always shows like checkers.
Yeah.
Covered with chemtrails.
Now think about. I'm not trying to make you feel bad about this.
Right.
But think about it this way. And I'm not the best with geography out here per se in California, but you know, say Newport Beach. You said they're spraying, right?
Yes.
Now, again, correct me if I'm wrong with the geography side of it. I'm just giving you a hypothetical situation here. They're spraying in Newport Beach, so that's 20,000 feet to 40,000 feet up. You know, those checkers, as you're saying, they're high up in the sky.
Yes.
You know, by the time that they start coming down, you don't see it.
Right.
And then it falls on your house. So it could be clear blue sky for you, sure. But the chemtrails over there that they're bringing in, they start falling down.
Because of the wind?
Correct. And same with the other side. They're going that way. So they're as long as it's spraying anywhere around you, it's going to land all over the place. They're spraying all over the country. So, I mean, they could even have these patterns where it goes to the next state. And I always say that too. I'll look it up like, man, look at that big X in the sky, chemtrails, you know, and I think about it. I don't look at that X above, you know, say my house and go, oh man, they're spraying us. Because they're not. That's not landing on my house.
Where does the wind blow?
It's not landing on my house. By the time it disintegrates where you can't even see it, these are micro particles. It's landing God knows where, and who's getting affected by that. It's the same on the reverse effect. When someone's spraying 100 miles east of me and it's coming towards me, they're not going to see it coming by the time it disintegrates, and it's still landing on my property where you can't see it. And now they're spraying at night a lot. They're spraying, you know, past midnight, they're spraying.
But it's the same thing with the CO2, right? We pay a lot of attention here for the CO2, European Union as well, but at the same time, Russia, China, India, they do those CO2 emissions that with the help of the wind, it covers all the planet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so
Plane.
right. We're gonna touch on that a little bit later.
No worries.
Who are the people that are spraying?
Yeah, I mean, you know, as far as my research goes, NASA's a big part of this, but the military, American military.
Why? What's the purpose of spraying your own country? If they're saying that they're blocking the sun, but what they're actually doing?
They could be brainwashed. I don't know. I don't know, but it could be a situation where they just believe what they're told, right? I mean, I think the military is trained in a sense to believe their commanders.
They just
what
execute?
They're told.
Okay.
Yeah. It's kind of like, you know, a private contractor, which there's tons of private contracts as well. The smaller planes that are doing it, they flare up and they spray, they come back, they reflare, they go out and spray again. They're on contracts. You can go to the NOAA library, the NOAA library, and when you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see, you could type in, or just go through it. You'll see all the states that have contracts. There's monthly contracts, yearly contracts, and you see what zone that they have contracted to spray.
So the state pays somebody the money to spray on its own citizen.
Yeah, and again, are they willfully doing it? I don't know. According to in the film when she was arguing with these pilots that were spraying her, they didn't deny it. They didn't act like, oh, we're not spraying metals. What are you talking about, you crazy lady? Like, they were just kind of in defense mode. Like, and then they kept passing the buck. Like, you got to talk to the boss about it. It's not, you got to talk to our boss. So I think that it's either they all know and they're all just demons, right? And they have a magic detox pill or something. I don't know. Right. Or B, they're unaware. They're conditioned. They're brainwashed to think that they're doing something just to produce rain, or they're just cloud seeding or something. And because if you go to Weather Modification Inc., which is a big part of this, they're like a corporation that kind of contracts a lot of this stuff. Weather Modification Inc. Well, so if there's a job listing, which there's always job listings for there, if you click on like apply for a job and you go to pilot, one of the qualifications for a pilot for the interview is you have to be discreet. You have to maintain full discretion. So if you get the job, you can't talk about it. You can't talk about what you're doing. You can't talk about what you're doing.
Indeed.
Yeah. So I look at that as, again, A or B. A, they know what they're doing, but they're making a lot of money, so they have to shut up. Or B, maybe in the interview process, they're like, oh, you're just spraying, silver iodide. It's not harmful, sign here. But really, they're spraying, really heavy metals that are messing us up. So I don't know. I mean, that's a good question. I don't know.
Any whistleblowers from
Well,
pilots?
no, not as far as I'm aware. No, not as far as I'm aware in terms of pilots, but in terms of the military, yeah. Kristen Megan is a big one, and we have her in the film. She's been blowing the whistle for over 10 years.
Saying what?
Well, she was in the bio and environmental engineering process of the military. That was her job. So initially, when chemtrails, the conspiracy theory, 12, 15 years ago was being talked about, she got offended. She's like, this is my job in the military. Like, there's no such thing. You guys are crazy. Like, I would not be poisoning our people. And she kept hearing more things about it. And then once she actually, took a step back from this is a conspiracy to go, let me be open-minded and take a look. I have the access to looking.
Good for her.
She started looking, then she started asking questions to her commander about like, whoa, what's going on here? It looks like this is strontium and barium and hold on. So she started asking questions and they were grilling her. They were like, we're going to put you in an insane asylum. Who's going to take care of your daughter? Like they were threatening her.
Insane asylum?
Yeah.
Literally?
They were threatening her in the military because she was asking too many questions. So as soon as she was up for re-enlistment, she ran. She did not re-enlist. She's been blowing the whistle ever since. And she's got whistleblower status. So, and I've been friends with her for years. She's a very strong woman. She's very powerful. She knows exactly what they're doing, how they're doing it. So I had to sit down with her. And initially she said no. So I was a little bit like, oh man, how am I going to do this film without her?
What?
I don't know. I never asked. I'm not a why person. It's like you don't want to do the film. It's fine. I don't know if you know Mickey Willis. He's another producer that does Truth Films and stuff. She turned him down as well. So I was like, oh man, that sucks. And then about a week or two later, my phone rings. It's Kristen Megan. Not sure why she's calling me. And I go, sorry, can you vibrate that? So I talked to Kristen Megan. She says no. She calls me back. And I go, what's up, Kristen? She goes, I'll do it. I was like, what? She's like, she's like, I don't trust anyone but you. She's like, there's no one she's like, I'll sit down with you. She's like, I think she didn't want to sit down with anyone because she didn't know if she could trust him. She didn't know if it was going to be a mockumentary type of thing. They're trying to, ruin her name or something like that and her legacy. And, she's seen all my work. So she knows like I'm in it for I'm real. I'm trying to get the truth out there. I'm doing everything I can to get it to the masses. And your story is going to be the best story because you were in charge of doing this at a certain point, and you found out it was legit, and you denied it at first, which helps people kind of relate.
Yeah,
because it's not like she was like, I was in the military and I was a conspiracy theorist. No, she was not until she found out it was real. And she goes more into detail about it in the film, obviously. But and to be honest, another whistleblower, I look at the definition of whistleblowers kind of snitching on your own industry in a sense, right?
Someone from inside. We
have an older gentleman named Francis Mangels in this film who's not doing well at the moment. Even when we got there, he had stage 4 cancer. So it was very hard to sit him down and get a lot out of him. But we got enough for the film. And God bless his soul, man. Excuse me. But he's a 30-year plus biologist, USDA biologist. I mean, he has all the certificates, all the qualifications, more than anything you've ever seen. We show the qualifications in the film. Like, he's legit.
Scientist.
Yeah. And he has been testing the soil and the rainwater up in Mount Shasta, California for many, many years. And he has seen the aluminum spike in real time. And used to, the contamination law apparently is like 0.05% aluminum in a rain sample is supposedly the legal limit, right? Like the normal limit that it should be, dust flying in or whatever, mixing with the particles in the air. That's normal. He was getting 64,000.
This episode is brought to you by the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the Lamb, the Lion of Judah, the Son of God, the Son of Man, the God Himself, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Guys and gals, if you ever feel down, if you feel like there is no hope in life, you can always turn to Christ and He will comfort you. Just like it says in the Bible, Matthew 18, verse 28. It says, "Come to me, all of you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." Guys and gals, if you haven't found Jesus Christ yet, I encourage you to do it. Seek and you will find. Start reading the Bible. Read the gospel, and I promise you, you will not be disappointed by what you read. May God bless you and your whole family. And now, let's get back to the podcast.
And when we were young, and the world
0.05 and 64.
To 64,000. Yeah. Supposed to be, and technically it's supposed to be 0, but you could see the charts along the way. We show a lot of his samples of his binders from, he actually gave us, me and my producer Nate, his binders to take home because, you know, he's stage 4 cancer. He's like, you guys take these huge binders, his life's work in them. I didn't put the whole thing in the film, it's too much. I put the good ones, but showing people that he would test it, and at some points it was 100, which is still really high.
Right.
And then it went to 1,000, you know, in the 2010s, 1,000, and then he, 13,000, and then 64,000. And when we were in Mount Shasta, I mean, it's all you see is the checkers, like you're talking about. It's all over the place. And Mount Shasta is supposed to be like pristine, like beautiful, clean water, clean soil. It's supposed to, and they have ruined it with the geoengineering for many years.
What kind of produce can you get from that kind of soil?
What kind of what, sorry?
Produce. What kind of veggies and fruits can you get from the soil like this?
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure, man. I just know that, when he was testing for these heavy metals, it was like, it's more than aluminum. It's barium and strontium and zinc and it's like these metals that I think they're like doing like this cocktail of metals where when we breathe it in, it just destroys our body. Because again, we're supposed to get the clean metals, the copper and the iron and the zinc, from our diet and stuff and our health, and that's for our body. Mm-hmm. But it also ruins the pregnant woman, because she's growing a baby inside, right. And they're relying on the mother's metals, and the mother's metals are getting replaced with these artificial metals, and it's ruining births, and miscarriages are at all-time high. And another thing too is they put the same thing in the vaccines as well. I don't know if I could say that we're on YouTube.
You can. I believe you can now in 2025.
Okay. Well, I don't want to get a ban, but
at least you can get you have to have to consent for the vaccine.
Correct. And that's the difference to me is, I guess, some people, like at the conference yesterday, I talked same thing to with people, and I'm like, that's your choice. We can't, how do we control that? But some people were like, but I was forced to do it for my job. I'm like, I get that, but it was still your choice. At the end of the day, no one forced it. Yeah, right. No one forced it. This is being forced. It's coming in every which way. We're eating it, we're drinking it, we're breathing it. And it's kind of like we look around and say, well, man, there's a lot of crazy people in the world. What's going on in the world? And it's like, well, this could be a result of that, guys. It really could. And maybe it doesn't affect everyone the same. But, it might affect some differently. And I think that, the world's crazier than it's ever been.
So let's say 100 people know what they're doing, right? Here in America with spraying all those chemicals and heavy metals. But they still live here. So do they have like a cure or a vaccine, a pill or something to protect themselves and their families?
Protect themselves from geoengineering?
Yeah. From breathing the shit.
It definitely wouldn't be a vaccine, though, in my opinion. No. But at the same time, there's ways to detox, yeah. I have Dr. Andrew Kaufman in this movie, and he breaks that down. I mean, I don't want someone that is just a tattoo artist or something to talk about how to detox, right?
With all the respect, guys.
Yeah. So, yeah, we get a doctor.
Right.
A doctor's going to tell you, and he goes over a lot. I'll give you an example. Cilantro is a natural way to detox, get that metals out of your brain.
Okay.
Now, I'm not saying, let me put extra cilantro on my taco now, and that's going to help. I mean, extracted in very high potency cilantro tinctures. And there's other things he goes over in the film as well. But there are natural chelating substances to help get it out of your body. So if a doctor, a normal doctor, real nice guy, knows these things, studied it, I even showed some of the tests they did on rats, you know, in a lab to see what happens, and it does detox them as well. So they're doing all these tests on rats to prove it. But if someone like Dr. Kaufman has these ways to do it, what do you think the cabal, the elite, what do they know? What do they have, right? Because I guarantee that, because a lot of people go, well, if they're spraying us, then aren't they breathing in the same stuff?
Right. That's my stance.
But who's the top of the top, right? You know, who's Trump's boss? Who are these people that, I mean, do we see them walking the streets? All the big cabal people, do we see them walking the streets all the time? Do we even know half their names?
No.
Where do they live? We don't know. Are they underground? Do they live outside of Antarctica in another continent? Well, we honestly can't just act like they're also breathing it in, because we don't even know who they are. How do we know that they even live amongst us?
Okay, so let's take, for example, Bill Gates, right? Very influential guy, doctor, quote unquote.
He's not a doctor at all.
Let's say he says he lives in Seattle, right?
I think so.
In Washington. So he breathes the same air that Seattle citizens breathe in, breathe out every day.
Could have a $3 million air filter in his house, man. We don't know. We don't know the situation in hand. I think that they're well equipped, or they're that dumb that they would breathe it into. They just don't, you know.
No, they're not that dumb.
I don't think so either, but I'm just saying that at the end of the day, we can't have answers to these things without sitting down with them and them being honest, which is never going to happen.
Never going to happen.
No.
Never.
No, and for all we know, Bill Gates' mansion goes underground. You know, when they're spraying, he just goes underground, and his underground section of his house is more beautiful than the above section. How would we know?
Okay, so let's go to the weather modification.
Mm-hmm.
It's real, it's true, right?
Yeah.
We just had the flood in Texas.
Yep.
And the rainmaker company admitted they were cloud seeding.
Girl, that's a fancy word for spraying stuff, and yeah.
But that's true.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, if you see, even on the radar itself, I mean, as we all know, when you look on a radar system, you see a storm, right? All storms are moving.
Mm-hmm.
This one just stayed there, never moved.
It's impossible physically.
I mean, naturally, that would be impossible. Yeah. So this is advanced stuff that they're doing. Do I know how they're doing this? No. How would I know?
But there was a guy, Rainmaker CEO, that
he went on a bunch of podcasts. Yeah.
Sean Ryan podcast, and he admitted it. Hmm? Why he's not in jail? People fucking died.
Well, it's a revelation of the method. They just told you what they're doing, and silence is consent. No one's looking for his arrest. No one's trying to arrest him. No one's calling. Who's doing anything about it? They watch the podcast. They're like, he admitted it, and then they watch their sports, and then they go to bed. So no one's actually doing anything about anything. Why is Fauci still walking? Why is Bill Gates still walking? Why is Oprah still walking? Why are these Obama, all these criminals out there that are still walking the streets, because no one does shit about it? I mean, we just talk about it.
There's a group of people that say they're in Gitmo for 10 years, right? They were killed, executed, in jail, something.
Oh, the QAnon people?
QAnon people.
Man, I love them. Are they still around?
I believe that it's
fading, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They became basically a joke.
I know, and it's one of these things where even when it came out, I wasn't really a part of it. I dabbled with it a little bit, but because I had hope. But man,
it was all about Trump. Trump. He's the one, right?
He's gonna save us.
Messiah, right?
He's gonna save us.
Guys, where are you? He's here.
Yeah.
For 9 months.
Not doing.
Did he save you?
No, and he's not going to. And it's sad. It's sad that there's still any of those people left. I think eventually it's going to all fade away because they're going to get on board. Because, you know, those people have big hearts. And I think they're very hopeful that something's going to happen. There's a bunch of white hats working behind the scenes. But at the end of the day, like, I'm a different type of person. I believe in the spiritual war that we're in.
100%.
That the evil is going to be gone soon. They're on their way out. Whether they want, they can't control it. This is God's world. And I think we've been living under the reign of Satan for a long time. But I think God is going to take it back. And this is why we're seeing the craziness we've been seeing the last 20 years, if not the last 5 years.
5 years. Just take the 5 years.
Well, I think since 9/11, technically, there's been a lot of stuff going on. It's kind of went under the radar. A lot of false flags, school shooting, false flags all over the place. I feel like a lot of the news, mainstream headlines have been so theater to me that when I see it and it's there every day, every second, repeating, I look at that as guilty until proven innocent. So when I investigate myself and don't listen to anything the news say and look at the facts and actually do my due diligence to research and look with an open mind, critical mind, it's always a false flag to me. It's always theater.
God forbid, one of your kids was killed, assassinated.
Sure.
The next day, would you be able to go in front of a camera and do interviews?
No.
It's physically impossible.
Well, the better example is like my spouse. I am married.
Right.
And if
something happened.
If something happened to her, I wouldn't even answer my phone for a week, let alone do an interview or let alone do a eulogy.
Drinking, getting drugs, I don't know, sleeping 20 hours a day, laughing, cracking jokes, doing shows, public appearances. How is it physically possible?
It's not.
It's not possible.
It's not. And I'll give you an example. I'm assuming you're talking Kirk now.
All of them.
Okay, but I'll give you an example. So about a month ago, my older brother passed away, 45 years old, obesity.
I'm so sorry. Obesity. Okay.
Yeah.
Heart problems?
We believe so. The autopsy said the heart stopped and everything like that.
So he died because of COVID.
No. Yeah, no, not
3 years ago, he would have died.
Yeah, of course it would have been. I'm sure they probably would have marked that.
Right.
Yeah,
COVID.
3 years ago, COVID. So we, at the funeral, his best friend is a big alpha male. Looks like The Rock, big alpha male. He's always a tough guy his whole life in Chicago, and he couldn't get through the second sentence of his speech. Broke down like it's a 5-year-old, respectfully. No one's like, what's up with him? Oh, what a pussy. Like, no. Like, it's all understandable and weird. He's making us get choked up, of course, in the process. That's normal, right?
And you can't control it.
You can't control it.
Just sob.
Yeah. So why would a woman the next day after someone gets brutally murdered just be up there and smirking and making jokes and then having to, I call it the Obama wipe tear process. Obama used to always do that when he was crying. And
really, dude.
And she always did that. I mean, he always did that. And I mean, she's in 4K, right? And again, up to that point, I thought everything was legit. The main story of Kirk and everything was 100%, we all saw it.
Right.
It's like 9/11. We all saw it, right?
But we didn't see it in 4K. We saw it 720p.
Yeah. But yeah, we saw it in 4K and, me and the wife were watching that eulogy. I think it was the next day. And, not expecting like red flags, not expecting, just watching it with an open heart, like,
Right.
oh, this is going to be sad, let's put it on. I'm like, oh, this is going to be brutal. She might start crying, my wife. I'm like, all right, we'll see. And within 5 fucking minutes, man, we just look at each other almost at the same time, like, what the fuck is going on right now? Why is she acting? Not only that, but why is she reading a script word for word? She looks up, blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Now, granted, you could write, that's fine. You write a script.
Right.
Nothing from the heart. Nothing. Not even the story of like the last time our daughter ran up to us and this, that, like everything has to be written out. That's kind of strange to me. But the most strange part is when she wasn't crying, but she still grabbed like a napkin and started doing this. Right. You're not wiping anything. So why do you have to do that? And that was a big red flag for me. So I go, hold on. I've seen this type of stuff before. These are crisis actors. This is strange. Let me go back to the drawing board. So I go back to the drawing board because what happens is when your emotions are high,
right,
your logic is low.
Correct.
Right. So I put as soon as I saw the eulogy, I'm like, my emotions are gone now. Something's going on. I have no more emotion for this. Let's raise the logic. And I'm going to go back to the drawing board and take a look at all of it. Like I'm investigating now, like I've always done for my whole life, and you keep my mind open. Don't let any influencer or any friends that knew him or anything get in my way. Cause that could really affect
just
it.
Facts. And
just
what you
look
see.
myself. I trust myself. Right. And we all should trust ourselves in our own eyes, our senses. Yeah. It's there's a lot of stuff going on with it that doesn't add up to me. And it,
but you know how people say everyone grieves differently? Yeah. No, I don't know a single person when I went to a funeral, they weren't crying. Sister, brother, brother-in-law, sister, it doesn't matter.
Especially your spouse that just got their head blown out in front of you.
That's it, right. You become a drug addict, an alcoholic for a month.
Yeah.
At least for a week.
And then a week later, so they have this giant funeral that would take months to plan, by the way. An event like that? Yeah, months to plan. But somehow it's there in a week. And I mean, it's like WWE, you know? Fireworks and
literally.
Music and smirking and jokes and... Yeah, man. I just think they think we're stupid at the end of the day. Whatever. I'm 50-50 with Charlie's dead. If he's dead, rest in peace. He got taken out. He was a part of something that he shouldn't have been a part of, and they took him out.
No, he's definitely not with us anymore.
The other 50% of me is saying that they took him out, witness protection. Because for me, the Trump assassination attempt was bullshit. That was all fake. That
Bro,
was
his ear.
one of the
Totally fine.
saw him on Rogan. And Rogan's like, man, that healed quick. It wouldn't heal quick. A bullet went through, like, sniped the ear, you know? And then even that, though, it was like, and that was different, because when my wife showed that to me, when it first happened, you know, she's on social media, oh my God. She goes, what is going on? She shows me on her phone the video. The first thing I saw, and this was different with Kirk, because Kirk, like I said, I was like, oh, I believed it.
Right.
With Trump, I was like, that's so fake. The whole thing looks staged. Bad acting. And who hires Rosie O'Donnell as your security guard? Like, I'm just sick.
Fucking go. Where should I put it?
It was bad. It was bad, very bad. But I think that they didn't know how bad it was going to look on camera and how bad it was going to look on TV. So I look at the Trump assassination attempt, and of course they had another one a couple weeks later that there's no information about it. They just said another one happened. Okay.
I mean, that guy.
Yeah, exactly. But to me, I'm not saying I'm right, but my opinion is they messed up with the Trump assassination. They got a lot of kickback. A lot of people are like, this looks weird, right? They're like, oh man, we messed up with that one. We got to do another one. But this time, we got to do someone else in our camp. We all know Charlie was in that camp, right? Mm-hmm. Pro-Israel, pro-Trump, all that. And they have to make it more realistic for the audience. They have to sell it better, which they did. They did sell it better, in my opinion. And that's the 50% of me that thinks that Charlie was in on it. The other half, you know, of course, I'm not naive that they could have took him out, but it just doesn't. There's too many things that, I mean, the white shoes were not stained. The white T-shirt was not stained. If you're bleeding, it doesn't just come off your white shirt. It stains your white shirt. It stains the concrete on the ground, which is why they pulled up the ground the next day and dug it up, because I think people would have noticed that.
They did what?
You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, they dug up the site right away. There's not even police line tape blocked off. They just a construction crew came and dug up the entire thing. It's no longer there. The whole crime scene is gone.
Why?
Because people like me and you that want to investigate would probably see that there's no burgundy stained concrete. That's real blood.
Right. We
would see like probably a light pink gel or whatever the fake blood would look like. Not only that, but we would investigate all of it. There'd be no bullets, no ricocheting, no evidence of a real murder that took place here. There should be blood all over the place. The amount of blood that came out,
right?
It was like 7 seconds later, they're hauling, like 10 seconds later, they're hauling him off into an SUV. Mm-hmm. No blood trail on the ground. You can watch any angle. Not only that, but his buddy, the one that's being, you know, people are like, hey, this guy tampered with evidence. He moved the chair, stood on the chair, took the camera off, took it out, took the SD card out. That was Charlie's buddy, right?
That was camera?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not just that part of it. I'm saying that so your audience knows what guy I'm talking about.
Right.
But if you watch all the camera angles, you see that guy, before he grabbed the chair and grabbed the camera off, which it's like, you should be running to the hospital to see your friend. To see
who cares about that freaking camera?
Nobody does. But at the same time, that guy, right after Charlie got shot and they pushed him and they put him on the ground, right? They covered him so no one can see, kind of like Trump, where no one can see what's going on. Mm-hmm. And they quickly carry him off like this, right? That buddy was already, as soon as he got shot, he ran around the back of the building, jumped on like a ledge and started filming the crowd running.
Why?
Because it's theater. That's why.
But
why would he wanted that angle? Well, no, why in reality, I don't know. Why would you do that if your friend just got shot in front of you? You wouldn't. You wouldn't do that. But he did, and they have that camera angle, and just for me, it's like there's just nothing but red flags all over, man. I don't trust it for what they're saying it is.
But can you acknowledge, can your mind comprehend how many people are on it then?
You mean a part of it?
Yes.
Yeah, it would be just Charlie's team, I would assume. Who's a part of Trump's team, who's a part of Netanyahu's team.
Who's part of the global team.
Yeah.
They all, let's say, cover up.
Globe, but yeah.
That's since it's like dozens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of people are on the same.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far.
all up,
I would say maybe I would give you hundreds, but I wouldn't say hundreds of thousands. It's compartmentalized. It's only the ones that need to know would know.
But bro, these strange odds, coincidences with the movie Snake Eyes.
Yeah, I know.
It's physically impossible.
Charlie Kirkland gets shot in the neck
Right.
by a guy named
No, the guy in the ring is fighting Tyler.
Tyler. Yeah,
The
Tyler,
executioner.
Yeah.
September 10th.
Is this mine?
Yeah.
Thank you.
There is no
September
chance.
10th. Yeah.
There is no freaking.
And some people are saying no. It says September 19th. Yeah. Okay. 9 + 1 is 10. If you want to go that route.
But Charlie Kirkland shot in plain sight in public to the neck.
It's unbelievable.
It's freaking unbelievable.
It looks like they just took a play out of it. They just took it out of that playbook and lived it out. And but I think they do these things on purpose too, because they want everyone fighting about it. They want everyone distracted, even the ones that are really trying to look at the truth of it, right? Like we're talking about it.
I want to know just the truth. That's it.
So we're going to fight with the ones that think only half of it was fake, and they're going to fight with the ones that think it's all real. And then the ones that think it's all real are going to fight with the ones that think like, Candace Owens is like, oh, look, there's like a trap door and someone came up maybe and shot him and like there's all these. And then someone's like, there's a guy with a thing under his arm and he shot him. And then this guy over here, you see a flash in the distance. And so I look at, and then of course the guy on the roof. So I look at it as that they're all patsies. They're all a part of the group that was placed there for that event. You stand there, you stand there, you stand there, you stand there, you go there, you go on the roof. Now we have 7 suspects.
Right.
When
7
it's all
different scenarios.
when it's all fake.
But the truth is only one.
There's
7
only one.
lies and 1 truth.
And it's going to be very difficult to actually get the concrete truth. But I think, of course, it sounds like I'm being selfish, but I think my route of what I'm looking at and as the whole is more towards the truth. And that becomes more of a, let's ridicule someone like me for talking like that. And how dare you?
Right.
How dare you? His family is grieving.
Right.
I'm like, his family? Where's his mother? Where's his sister? Where is his real family members? We've seen him 0 times.
Right.
We didn't even see him at the funeral.
His wife is totally fine.
Of course, and his wife is fine, smiling away, and happy to be the leader of TPUSA, and happy, and why are
The
you
most
happy?
affected person, because he left her with 2 kids.
I look at this too. This is kind of going on a limb, but the rumors about Michelle Obama already
Right.
being a man.
Yeah.
No pregnancy photos.
Right.
Yeah, where's the pregnancy photos from Erica?
I've seen that on Twitter. Yeah, I've read that.
Where's her pregnancy photos?
Why don't they use, let's say, AI? Because you will know that this is AI.
But it's kind of like after the fact now. I would have assumed like there would have already been before, meaning the date, way before Kirk got murdered, right? That there would have already been pregnancy photos or photos of the newborn baby with Erica and Charlie, and then I don't see anything. So
I have a buddy. So a buddy of mine says it's all AI at all.
what's AI?
Everything.
The Kirk shoot?
Yeah. Did you see that video of a chair?
Yes.
What
I
is
did,
that?
Going through the table.
Bro,
No,
so
it's
you're
crazy.
a
It's
you're
crazy.
a
I know
filmmaker.
that can't happen in reality.
Impossible, right?
It's impossible.
I do these podcasts in my home country. I did it since 2016, right? So I'm doing almost a decade. Hours, hundreds of thousands of hours editing and watching different kinds of videos. It's impossible to do what that chair did. Not a chance. Bad quality, 480p, 360p. It doesn't matter. It's impossible.
And why are a lot of these, a lot of the coverage of Charlie Kirk's event was like, they shot it with like a potato, like everyone's got 4K phones.
Right.
We should have the most crystal
Right.
clear thing. It looks like a potato shot it, or a BlackBerry from the 90s.
2025, there is no chance. And 95% of them were youngsters. I mean, iPhone 15 to 16.
And look at it. When you look at like the beginning of the event, during the event and up to that point even, because I saw someone had a video from the rooftop. You can't see anything, but that one was 4K. You just don't see it because they're over there on top, right?
But the closer they get,
True, but my point is that when you look at their camera angle of looking, everyone has a phone like this.
yes,
Everyone.
hundreds of angles.
So where are all these new angles? Unless, you know, I don't know, man. It's hard to imagine that they could have that many, you know, crisis actors coming in for this event, like meaning they hired, you know, 200 people to be there as an audience. It was blocked off.
Bro, it's not 200, 1,000.
Oh, there was 1,000 people there?
I want to say it was
Okay.
1,000.
And that makes it even harder for me
Right.
to grasp. But that doesn't make it so it's impossible.
But
Anything's possible, man.
we still get this main camera that he always used to film himself doing those Q&As.
Yep.
Where's that footage? Why don't they release it? Where's the funeral? Where is he buried? Maybe I want to see the tombstone, right?
Did you
Get
see?
the flowers?
Did you see the casket?
No.
I did.
Oh, on the video?
The video of his wife,
Right.
with her Masonic rings,
Right.
and then he has one button on the bottom open. That's a Masonic thing. They open the button on the bottom, which is really not something that, you know, they're supposed to be Christians and all that stuff. You're supposed to have the suit's supposed to be all buttoned up and nice, and you know they have that bottom button open. It looks very like, why would you do that? And she, oh baby, and like
Someone ran it.
creepy. It's creepy. It's like this doesn't. It looks like mannequin hands.
Yeah,
You know, I
someone
get-
ran it through Google AI. It says these hands are not real. Did you see that?
Yeah, and well, I've seen people too compare Charlie's hands with those hands. It's not even close. I get it can change from the
Color,
depth.
right.
No, not even the color. The shape of the hand a little bit can change, but these lines on your hand and all these little things wouldn't change. And it's like the veins, and I guess it could be lessened because the blood's out, they're dead. But it just looked like it wasn't his hand even a little bit. It looked like completely different. So there again, you're just putting all these red flags into a bucket. How the heck am I supposed to think it's real?
Yeah, it's just too many of them. It's like not one or two.
Yeah.
It's like dozens.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I get the first week, you know, it was hard to talk like this with people.
Right.
But now it's a lot easier. Even when I texted you a week or two ago, I was like, don't bring this up because I don't want to be that guy on your show, man. But now it's a lot easier to talk about because everyone's talking about it.
Yeah, but guys, these are facts. We don't make everything up.
You know, and I'm not even sitting here thinking that I know what's going on. I just know that it doesn't seem real. It doesn't seem legit. And then, of course, it comes down to the question of why. Why would they do all this? Why would they do all that? Well, you know.
Yeah, what's coming?
They want
because
the left.
after 9/11, Patriot Act. What's coming now? You know what I didn't like? I didn't like that they at the same time, let's say an hour or even 15 minutes after he got shot, they said this was done by the left.
Yeah.
How do you know that?
That's like 9/11. This
Right.
15 minutes later,
Those
Bin
guys-
Laden.
right.
Bin Laden. Like, what?
How do you know that?
Could have been two drunk pilots.
Right. How do you know that this was the left? And you're basically saying that these bad Americans killed a good American, so maybe they should kind of fight, guys.
And then you see Elon Musk tweet right away with something, not verbatim, but something like, if we don't respond, they're going to kill
Yeah.
us all.
Right.
What?
Kill us all? You? No one's gonna kill you, bro.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
It looks like they just want to stir the pot. They
Yeah.
want us
How about-
fighting because maybe something big's coming. They're planning something where they just want us distracted, man. And this, I give them that. This is the perfect distraction because there's so many holes in the story. All it's going to do is, like I said, this group over here thinks it's what the news said is real, right? Some sniper got him. This group over here is fighting over who did it in the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
They killed him. This group over here is fighting about maybe he's dead, maybe he's alive. Look at this. So all these people are fighting over 100 different things while who knows what they're doing behind the scenes now because we're all distracted. It's like every day I can't even open YouTube without some popular podcast or popular influencer. It's all they're doing. Charlie Kirk. What happened? Zoom in. What a distraction. Just shut that off, man.
But they don't answer the questions. Let's say, so a buddy of mine, Joey, that said this was all AI. How can you possibly explain the ring thing?
Yeah,
Instead
but
of
from here
ring
to
with
here.
the hatch. Yeah.
I get that it opens and stuff,
it
but
opens-
it's just like bloop.
But it opens, let's say, from the top or from the bottom. It means it can't go from this finger to that finger. It means basically this is an artifact in AI. It's not perfect.
It makes you
don't care.
It makes you think like, what's really going on? Because
Yes.
it's hard. And that's another thing with the AI and some people think he was projected.
Yes. That's why I asked you whether you think that was a camera, because people say that this is not a camera, this is a projector.
I don't think so. No, I don't think it's projected.
I don't think that as well.
But I'm not gonna come hard at the people that do, because who knows, man? Who knows what they can get away with, what they can do. But I do know that escape hole that people were saying, like he went down in there and then come. I don't buy that at all, because when you look at the sky view of that podium, by the way, it looks like a giant menorah, but that's another story.
What is menorah?
The Jewish thing with the candles. The whole stage
Right.
looked like a giant menorah.
Yes.
So that's one strike for me. But I look at it like this. When you look at the bird's eye view of that escape hole was way to the right of where Charlie was sitting. So it makes no sense. People want to use it because you'll see like some camera angles of where Charlie's sitting. It's just the camera angle where it looks like it's kind of right by him. It's not right by him. So you got to, whoever's talking about that escape hole, you got to stop. You're making everybody that's trying to find the truth look bad. You got to stop with that. It's terrible. It's not valid whatsoever. So you just got to move on from it. No worries. You saw a camera angle that looked like it was close to him. You were wrong. You just got to move on. It has nothing to do with that escape hole whatsoever.
Yeah, and you have to have this ability to accept that you were wrong.
Correct. And I always will. I've been the first person, anything I do or say or think is true, and it's like, oh, it turns out it's not. I'm so sorry, And I'll even like that. Well, this is why I thought that. I hope you can understand. This is why I thought that, but I was completely wrong. But I'm gonna still go and investigate, which is fine. Just pick up where you left off. You just were wrong about one thing. That's all.
Yeah, but if you don't even ask questions, then you believe everything. You believe all the narrative. So I'm going to give you a good example. Let's say, so a few days ago, I was scrolling on my X, and I saw a short clip of the Batman TV show, 1962, I want to say.
Okay.
So back then, in 1960s, people were watching this TV show, and they would have never thought that this is kind of a funny, not realistic at all, right? So let's say people in the 60s and 70s were told, we went to the moon. Oh, right, here's the footage. Totally fine, right? The quality is, let's say, 240p. Okay, we've been to the moon. 9/11, right? Okay, 9/11 happened. Okay, the footage quality is like that. Now, let's say we have full HD. So we tend to get, oh, it's not full HD? No, I don't believe this. I have to get the higher quality. Now we're getting to 4K. So I believe their ways of deceiving us is getting more and more sophisticated, and they have to get more and more details because we're now used to this 4K, 8K footage.
I agree.
Let's say we were watching, Rambo in the 80s, right, or the 90s. Whoa, it looks so real. It's like it's impossible to watch right now. How did you believe that these special effects were real? Yeah. How could you? It's impossible.
Yeah.
But now it's like,
well, we expect 4K footage minimum, nowadays. And when we don't get it, it's like, well, what's going on? Like especially with Kirk, I mean, everybody had their phone out, and you could clearly see everybody had their phone out.
yes.
But we don't have the angles. I kind of look at that as the same thing, similar to 9/11. We only had a couple, whatever the news showed us is all we had. Right. And there was one news channel, though. I forgot which one it was. It was a local news channel in New York that was on a helicopter.
Mm-hmm. I saw the footage.
It was never used in any documentaries, which you think it would be because it was a wide angle of it. But when they showed the sky, the wide angle of the sky, there's no airplane. They zoom in a little, no airplane. They zoom in again, airplane comes in, giant airplane comes in, and then the plane nose goes through.
Yes.
That's a mask. If
Right.
you know stuff about videos.
Right.
So the guys in the helicopter live.
It's a loose job.
It's live CGI compositing. The guys in the helicopter, he's got the mask already preloaded for the CGI plane to come in, and he's supposed to keep it straight.
Right.
And because he's in a chopper, maybe it moved a little bit this way, and it comes in. They called it Pinocchio's nose. When I saw that, that's when I, again, go back to the drawing board. Hold on. I always, like everybody, I thought that was real planes and everything like that. The Pennsylvania one, the one that crashed and there's just a hole in the ground, that helped the process because I'm like, no one's talking about that. That's weird. There's not even an airplane part. And the people on the ground were like, we didn't see any planes, like, no idea, you know.
United 93, yes.
So but they make these things so unbelievable. Like someone like me, it's a little bit easier nowadays, but 10 years ago when I knew about all this stuff, to talk like, man, there's no airplanes on 9/11. Like, that's all just CGI on the news, you know. No one believes that. You know, oh, you're crazy, you know, or how dare you,
girl? How freaking
how
dare you?
dare you say that? And it kind of felt like that the first week with Charlie Kirk, because it's like, man, like I went on Sam Tripoli's show, Tinfoil Hat, and we were talking about this and stuff, and we talked about it in person too. You know, he's kind of on my side, but I just want everybody to think whatever they want to think. Use your own brain, use your own senses. But on the show, I kept kind of apologizing a little too much. Like, I'm sorry, you know, don't think I'm crazy or don't think I'm rude. You know, if he's dead, rest in peace. But I'm not feeling this. This isn't. I just trust my senses too much, man. And I've been lied to so much about almost everything in my life that why would I not think that they would make this up and make us all fight about it and stuff like that? And, you know, I'll see you in Valhalla, you know? It's one of those things where it's kind of like, it's like a bad movie script. It really does. Starting with Snake Eyes, but yeah.
Yeah, but this thing with Valhalla, first of all, Kash Patel is not a Christian, right? Okay, but he's a Hindu. He's not a Scandinavian. So Valhalla exists only in Scandinavian mythology.
Yeah.
That's where warriors go to. This is their heaven.
Correct.
Why would he say that to a Christian? Charlie Kirk was a Christian. Why would you say that? Why would you use this specific word? And at the same time, you got a photo of a guy, quote unquote, the killer.
With Valhalla Island right there, yeah.
With the Valhalla Island, Valhalla treatment center in New Zealand?
Yeah.
What are the odds?
Which is a Masonic... It's a Masonic place that's off. The public can't go there. It's been rumored that that's, you know, witness protection. This is where they bring these types of people, right? So,
but they're showing this to what? To spit you in the face?
Revelation of the method. They have to tell you what they're doing. They have to show you what they're doing before they do it, or they have to admit these things to us, or they have bad karma, right? They're all about the charismatic laws. So? Oh, I know so, man. They have to tell us. Usually, generally speaking, they tell us first, but they still, either way, they have to tell us what they're doing and why they're doing it. They do it in a way where there was something a long time ago during the COVID thing where there was a newscaster. I don't think it was like mainstream news. It might have been like a local news station. I could be wrong. My brain's spotty with it, but I do remember specifically the lady, the analyst, she was talking, you know, doing her pitch about this and get your jabs and this, blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, the vaccines will kill you, blah, blah, blah. And she kept continuing. It's like they threw it in there, like hoping people go, wait, what? And like they just didn't realize, like, it was so fast. What I look at that as, that's on purpose. That's what the revelation of the method is. They just told you. They just got to tell you once. And then they don't have karma. The blood's off their hand. I'll use a line from one of my best friends, Tanner Stewart, that's in the film. He talked about revelation and the method in Chemtrails. By the way, climatetrails.com if you want to see it, guys.
Right. All the links are going.
Oh yeah, thank you. But he said revelation and method. A good example is, you know, here's a poison apple. Okay, Apollo, I have a poison apple.
Okay,
I'm going to sell this to you. So buy it from me. Take the poison apple. If you eat that poison apple, that's on you, bro. I already told you.
Right.
The blood's off my hands.
Right.
So there's no karma for me. This is how they construct all of this that they're doing. Everything they do, they have to tell us, they have to show us, and silence is consent. If no one does anything about it, they move on, man. And I think they do all of these types of false flag events in a sense where the revelation method is always being used.
Yeah, but what can you do about it?
This is about it. We talk, man.
Just by knowing?
Yeah.
Realizing, acknowledging it?
Yeah, but I look at it, even just knowing it does help, because even something like Project Bluebeam or something like that, like a lot of people know about it now, right? Mm-hmm. That they have this technology to beam up these fake UFOs and scare everybody, right? Mm-hmm. On the firmament. My point is, people like us that say, like, we know about Project Bluebeam and we invested in it, we know it exists. If we see that in the sky tomorrow night,
it's like, oh, There it
Say
is.
blue beam.
There it is.
You know the difference? You know why that's so good that we got involved with our senses and we trust them again? Because we won't have a heart attack now, bro. Think about the normal person, the normie that's probably still wearing a mask over there.
2.
Yeah, 2 masks, right?
And a condom on a dick.
Recommended now, huh? They might have a heart attack or stroke when they see that. They might shit their pants and run in front of traffic at that point, running away from what they think is real. So I think that...
And they'll be willing to pay 10% extra tax just to get the protection from this shit?
Yeah, good point.
Every time they increase the taxes, they're going to protect us
Yeah,
from climate change.
exactly.
Right.
So knowing the truth still helps at the end of the day. Because there's some people that go, man, I wish I didn't know all this. I can't sleep at night. And they're like, no, you'll get there. You'll get to a point where you have to realize knowing the truth and knowing what they're lying about and how everything's theater, you won't fall for it anymore. Like I said before, if there's a mainstream headline, it's flashing every day. Can't open your phone without seeing it. Boom, boom, boom. Like the train stabbing, all this stuff. All these things. To me, it is guilty until proven innocent because all they do is lie. All they do is theater. So,
But bro, if my friends that I did podcasts with, they're on the right. They're conservatives. They're not super MAGA, etc. They're just conservatives. Lots of them are Christians.
okay.
They still believe that girl was killed on a train, and they still believe Charlie was just assassinated, murdered by the left, and no questions asked. They still mourn almost every day on Instagram. And if I
Are they wearing masks?
no,
Okay.
and if I start talking about it with them, I believe we're gonna get into a fight.
They're offended.
But we're friends. I just want to get the truth. I don't know the truth. I'm just asking the questions. The coincidence with the snake eyes is unbelievable.
It's eerie.
Mind-boggling.
It's eerie.
That girl, she was not killed on that train.
No.
She was like, bam, bam, bam. She's like, you don't act when you get stabbed 3 times
Bad
with your
acting.
knife.
I think she got acting class. She went to the same acting class as Erica Kirk.
We watch movies. Let's take Matthew McConaughey, DiCaprio, De Niro, Al Pacino, great actors.
Great.
We believe those actors
That they're
on
being
the
real.
screen, right?
Yeah.
But why don't they act the same way when they do this stuff? Train stabbing. Why don't they hire the true actors to do that?
Yeah, it's one of those things where they want us to know.
But they took the darkest of the blacks and the whitest of the whites.
And of course
I killed.
And of course, the photo of her that they kept showing it, I think in her dorm room had like the Black Lives Matter
Yes,
poster in the
yes.
background. This is they just write a script. They pick a couple people in their agency, go out there, get a paycheck and get out, whatever. Like this girl, just say she's not dead, the train one, where is she? They could put her anywhere for the most part. They could put her anywhere in the world, change her name, done. Dye her hair. No one's going to know it's her, man, because they moved on quickly. It's not like we're still seeing it every day. They put it there and they move on from it, right? Like,
But what if this even never happened at all? 2 days ago, they introduced Sora 2. Did you see the result?
I know they introduced
That's
it, but
mind-boggling.
Is that what's being used for these Michael Jackson memes I keep seeing online? Like him and Hitler on like Jerry Springer? It's so funny though, but
It's so realistic.
is that what they're using?
Yes.
Oh man, dude.
Maybe that scene in the train didn't even happen.
Oh no, that I can be okay with for
just
sure.
AI
That is not
generated.
hard to have an entire AI video generated for that.
Right.
They'd be done in like 30 minutes, and they just keep pumping out in the news. These are fake people.
Right.
There's not even
They don't exist.
So yeah, they don't exist at all. I'm with you on that. That's an easier way to fool everybody, where they don't have to have NDAs and contracts and witness protection and stuff like
But
that.
bro, if they roll out Sora 2 now to us, can you imagine what kind of a technology do they have under their sleeves?
That means
That
they
they're gonna-
probably had Sora 2 in the 70s, to be honest.
Even if they, had
probably
it
did,
in
I'm saying.
2015.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's crazy because now it's, what can you believe anymore? When you see something, dude, when I saw the Michael Jackson versus Hitler argument, I think it was on Springer, I probably watched it 20 times in a row and I in awe. Like, wow.
Incredible.
This sounds just like him, looks just like him. There is no like that Trump speech where his hands are,
Yes.
are none of that, right? Wow. We're gonna be in tough times coming up because now I don't know what's real and what's fake. But this is the point, though, of them having to do that. And I've said this for years. They have to create these events because humanity is good. Humanity is good. We're loving. We're godly people. Now, it's been crazy lately. But I think that they have to create these school shootings, or they have to create, you know, a rocket blowing up and they have to create these events to steer the emotions of humanity, to get in people's heads and make people feel a certain type of way. Because if the news just disappeared tomorrow, even social media, I'll say, if all that disappeared tomorrow, and all we can do is wake up in the morning, open our eyes, and live our lives,
Right.
I think life would be great. I don't think we'd have a bunch of issues. I don't even think we'd have, like, how many times in your life have you seen someone just like shoot up a bunch of innocent people? Zero. Me too. It's just the point. Does it really happen that often, or is it only on TV that they tell you this is always happening? This is a crazy world. It's dangerous out there.
Don't go outside.
Yeah,
Can you imagine being a black person? And when you always see on the news, this black person did this, stabbed, raped, killed that poor lady on the train, poor that guy a year ago in a college football stadium or somewhere else. Okay. Always the blacks. Can you imagine being a black? And my people are not like this.
Correct.
My skin color people that I know of, they're not killers, robbers. They're not like this.
Yeah, they might like to smoke their blunts.
Right.
They might like to listen to their hip hop, and they might like,
But they're not killers.
No, they're not. But that also makes the weak-minded blacks look at the TV and think that they have to have this sort of gangsterness to match it. So it turns them into worse people than they really are. Mm-hmm. And the music doesn't help as well. I try my hardest to not listen to rap anymore. I grew up in Chicago. Rap was, I didn't even know who AC/DC was till I moved at 14 years old. I didn't even know like rock bands existed necessarily. It was all hip hop, all rap. That's all it was.
Huge psyop.
So I grew up with this mindset of this is my favorite music. And now it's like, I don't even know last time I hit my Spotify rap playlist, because I know the vibrations and the frequencies are designed to turn me into someone I'm not, and mess with my brain and stuff.
What about the lyrics?
Yeah.
Straight in your face.
Yeah.
Kill, rape, do drugs.
And that's what, who was it? It was Crazy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony, I believe. Okay. You know Bone Thugs and Harmony?
No. Okay,
no worries. Everyone in your audience probably knows. Very famous rap group in the 90s from Cleveland, and they had the song Crossroads. You remember that?
No.
Okay. I think if you heard it, you'd be like, I think I've heard this before,
maybe.
but it's okay. So, very famous, though. Super famous. You're not proving that, but they really were in America, okay? And one of the guys said that they had a like an executive meeting, record label meeting, back when they like started to get big. And the executive people, the tops of they said they're Jewish, but regardless, these guys that came in said, okay, guys, we have to ramp it up now. Your next album's going to be about murdering, killing, raping. And they're like, I don't know, right? We don't want to do that. And there's a lot, I don't remember all the names, at Snoop Dogg. There's a lot of rappers there at that meeting. It wasn't just Bone Thugs. A lot of famous faces there. Some people walked out. They walked out of the meeting. Never to have another album, of course. Now, what Bone Thugs said was, they stayed for the meeting. They heard everything. They left, and they just left the label at that point. Then you see their sales, no more sales. I mean, it's, if you don't do it their way, because it's an agenda. Rap was an agenda. It was like a CIA operated, Mossad, whatever. They come in together and go, how do we ruin the black community? And I think they're so scared that the cabal, they're so scared of the black community because of the unity, the strength, the power they have when they're together. Mm-hmm. And I've always said, man, if black people wake up, that like they're gonna, the way we are, like we're not really violent people, right? Like me and you sitting here, like, we're not gonna like, let's go kill everybody. But if they have that violent sense in their brain and the power they have to go take these elitists down, they'll probably fucking do it, man. So that's why they've always tried to, in my opinion, they've always tried to destroy the black communities and keep them down and docile because they're scared shitless of them. They're very powerful, strong people when they're together, when they're all together on something. Look what happened with George Floyd. I think the whole thing was a psyop too, but look what happened. Yeah, millions of people in the street the next day. You don't even know this guy. That's how powerful of a unit they are. So imagine if we can mold them into the truth and line them up with reality, and let's all work together. I don't see skin color. I see brains.
100%.
That's what I see.
An attitude.
I know a lot of black people that are as smart as heck and high IQ in terms of the truth and reality. It's just very rare, and it sucks because if I could pick a race in the world, it would be specifically because I live here, Black Americans, to wake the F up, because we all need to come together to defeat these demons, man. We do.
Well, fatherlessness kills the Black community, first of all. And second of all, you're going to laugh right now. So 2020, BLM, I live in my home country back then. In my home country, Lithuania, northeast of Europe, former USSR, very small country. The population of the whole country is up to 3 million people. BLM happens, George Floyd gets killed. The next day, I won't say the next week or the next even day, we have this protest in our country. Youngsters march to the streets saying, fuck the police.
Wow.
Who is this guy? And why would you like to fuck Lithuanian police? For what? Yeah. For what freaking reason, guys? Because this was such a psyop, mind-boggling.
I made a short film on this topic, and I made a feature film on this topic. Short film's called Psychological Operation. Go to HibblerProductions.com if you want to get it.
Hitler Productions?
Hibbler.
Okay.
God, if I haven't heard that joke 100 times this week. Yeah, but Sam Tripoli always says Hell Hibbler, so that helps, right? But if you go to HibblerProductions.com and see Psychological Operation, that's a short. That is regarding George Soros' involvement in this, the Masonic ritual of George Floyd, and how it's all Masonic.
Mm-hmm.
And then I made a film with a director called Miriam Haneen, who made a film on Netflix called Vanishing of the Bees, and they took that down and did really well. And then she's like, she's been investigating George Floyd for many years. She called me. She's like, I don't know any other editor that I can trust to do this project. So she sent me a lot of her footage. She had body cam footage. She went to there to get this footage that no one gets. And we put it all together. It's called The Real Timeline. We put it all together from the second the body cam turned on, before George Floyd, I mean, they even went up to his car to pull him out, all the way to the very end. It's basically, we're showing you exactly, we want you to see exactly what happened in firsthand perspective. POV. A lot of people don't see these things. The news only shows you a little this, a little that, and that's it. Even these other documentaries people make, they don't put the good stuff in it. We put all of it in it. I'll just give you one example. There was an Asian police that day, I think his name was Officer Tu Tao or something like that, some weird name. You might not believe this, but it's in the film. If you remember the people that were like filming,
yes,
like, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
All that stuff. They were put aside before that. So it wasn't their turn to come in yet. They had all set up where they had the knees, but basically the knee wasn't even on the neck. It was on this trap. And there was no pressure. All that's fake to me. They didn't kill him that way. It's all bullshit, but to me, but regardless, they have a wide angle from a CCTV that she got. All the people with their cameras were like waiting, like their cue, like actors. They're waiting. No big deal. Same thing's happening in front of them, but they don't care yet. But they're getting ready for their cue. They turn their phone on. They're looking. Okay, turn their phone on. The cop, the Asian,
see that.
The Asian cop goes, "Come on!" And then they all come forward with their phone, like
Never
action. I promise. You see it, and that's why her film. I mean, I edited it, but I still consider it Miriam's film. Banned, disregarded. No one wants her on the big shows. Like they're scared of it. They're scared. People get so scared of the real truth when you uncover it that they're like, man, this is gonna ruin us. You know, we can't show this. And they took her off of PayPal, Cash App, Bank of America, everything.
Really?
They banned her from everything. She can't even get donations anymore, I think, because
for that video,
for the film. Yeah.
And she didn't even film it. She just used the footage.
She got the CCTV of everything. She had to go to cut, but she had to pay money to get certain buildings around there to get it and stuff like that. And you would expect that the police in Minnesota would do it. The news would do this. No, because if it's a staged event, they just want to piggyback a couple parts, repeat it over and over again, keep showing the same thing. We also have George Floyd saying, like, he messed up his lines. He said, I can't choke. I mean, I can't breathe. Well, that's not normal behavior. I can't choke. I mean, I can't breathe. And then he also said, I'm scared that if it goes off, what's going to happen if it goes off? I mean, if it goes off in you, I'm scared. We think that they gave him like a pill for the event, for the staged all acting, right? They gave him a pill that he was going to pass out.
Okay.
And wake up later, which he could have. We don't know. He could be in Valhalla too. I don't know. But it seemed like he was nervous to even that something was, he was going to pass out soon. And the real timeline's awesome, man, because there is no conspiracy. We're showing you every body cam in order from all the policemen, where I'm patching it up. It was hard, but I'm lining it up to every police cam where I have them all stacked, and I'm showing the best angles of everything. And the stuff, I didn't even know half the stuff until I started looking. When she sent it to me, I'm like, oh my God, this whole thing is staged. The whole thing is fake. They're all acting. Even the Darnell Frazier, she won a Pulitzer Award for her angle of the film. She's an actress, and she made like millions of dollars from GoFundMe because she's like, oh, I need help. I was there when he died, and she starts
won
fake.
a Pulitzer award.
Pulitzer Award for it. Yeah, I swear.
That's for the journalist.
But for filming the George Floyd thing with her phone, she won the award. Yeah.
Okay, so
It's all fake.
give me how would you act? You see that cops are basically killing a guy by kneeling on his neck for minutes upon minutes upon minutes. He's saying, "I'm dying," right?
Can't breathe. I
can't breathe. Yeah, you see him dying. You're like, stop, guys, stop. Maybe you should stop. Wouldn't you run it? At least try to push the cop. I know you can't do it, but you're saving person's life. No, stop, guys. You're killing him.
Yeah, the reason that no one pushed him off is because none of it was real.
Right. This is the only explanation I got.
None of it was real. And we actually have like back POV angles from the cops behind the guy putting the knee on there, and the knee's not on the neck at all. He's not being choked. Is the point.
You knee on the guy and you put your hand in a pocket? That's a Masonic.
Freemasonic. The whole thing was Freemasonic.
You never do that.
The real timeline, we don't mention conspiracy stuff. Freemasons, this, that. It's no conspiracies in that, right? The psychological operation that I made, conspiracies for sure, but conspiracy truths, right? The Masonic ritual. George Soros had his hands all in it. I mean, they were bringing bricks, waiting for. I mean, it's staged, man. None of it's real. That's what I mean. When there's a mainstream headline that's flashing every day, it's not real.
Yeah, but they did destroy the city.
Oh yeah, big time. Kind of the similar thing. They if they do this Kirk event, what they wanted, maybe they're not getting it, but what they wanted was the left and the right to kill each other. But again, humanity is not like that. Doesn't mean they could fake 10 more events. We're not going to kill each other. All of us versus a powerful few.
Who's them? You will never know who's them.
Well, all I want to say is that they don't really care about us. So
I'm going to ask you this question. So I've been dealing with this one thought of mine for weeks now. Have you ever seen a lot of autistic kids in your life?
You mean growing up?
Yeah.
Never.
No. Let's say right now, in the past 2 to 3 years, in a store, in a grocery store.
Of course.
Have you ever seen a black autistic kid?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Because I thought there is something with them. Maybe they're not taking the drugs. Maybe they're not doing something that the whites do. Because every kid that I saw that was autistic, only whites, I wouldn't say.
Do you live in a black neighborhood?
No.
Oh, well, there you go. So that's why you don't see them. I've lived in a black neighborhood before.
And there were autistic black kids?
Well, yeah, but growing up, it was very rare. Mm-hmm. It's gotten more common now. I think it's all races, to be honest with you. I think it stems from the okay, that's where it stems from. But it's normalized. And what I mean by that is you can go to the park, with your kids or something like that and see all these other kids. Just say your kid isn't vaccinated, but the other kids are, right? And all these other kids are acting weird, right? For their age, at least. The parents look at that as normal because all the kids are acting the same way, right? Mm-hmm. If they're all acting slightly autistic, slightly aggressive, or some of them don't talk much and stuff. It used to, for me, like growing up, that would have been like, there's an issue. That's rare. Like something's wrong with little Timmy, right? But now it's like they're all kind of the same, especially depending on the state. If vaccines are very heavy in the state, you see that it's normalized. So it's not that the parents are ever going to admit like, oh, we shouldn't have done that because our kid's different. Well, all the kids are different because all the parents are doing the same thing. So it normalizes it where nothing looks abnormal to them. It just looks like that's just how kids are. No, it's not. That's not how kids are. That's not how kids should be acting. And, you know, growing up, even, you know, mentally challenged, the retardation, whatever you want to call it, was rare.
Mm-hmm.
I actually, in school, to get extra credit, I would stay after school to help the mentally challenged, play sports with them, just play with them, take care of them, you know, converse with them, play games with them.
Right.
Just out of the goodness of my heart, I did that. But there was 5 kids in the class, you know, 5 kids that rode that little bus in a huge school. Now there's buses filled with them, you know, and it's more common. All of these things are more common. And I think it's based on big pharma. It's based on the vaccines, that it's more common. Cause there's like my late mother used to tell me, cause I was never vaccinated. So even at birth, to this day, 41 years straight, zero shots on my arm, 0, period. But she would tell me that, you know, these kids in school, when I was little, it was like 1 or 2 shots they got in school, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
And now you look at California, it's 72 before 5 years old. They get 72 doses. It's insane, man. That, like, what? So now we kind of see that it's normalized, and the next generation it's going to be even worse, you know? So I think it's up to our generation, like, we need to cut that off. No more of that, you know?
I believe a lot of people are just waking up, especially after in 2020, what happened with the COVID.
Yeah, they messed that up too. They messed up a lot of stuff, man. Not just the Trump assassination was phony. The COVID was phony. All this stuff. 9/11 actually was pretty good for its time.
Right.
Took me years to figure that out.
Now in 2025, but the dancing nurses.
Oh, God. Never forget, people. Never forget, because they want you to forget. They keep distracting you. They don't want you to know what the hell they put us through from 2020 to 2022. It was
Circus,
hell.
basically circus.
Man, it was bad. It was bad.
A ship in New York to store dead bodies? Containers for dead bodies?
Yeah.
Who are all those people that died? Where are all those people's relatives,
I know.
loved ones, grieving?
Sad.
A ship for dead bodies. It's like from a movie. If I would see that in a movie, it's like, what the hell is this? It's like, can you hire a better screenwriter?
Yeah, I think a lot of these false flags. Now, 9/11, granted, the script was pretty decent for its time, but a lot of these scripts post 9/11 are just bad scripts, bad movies.
Do you know the first male that was vaccinated with COVID-19 vaccine?
Who?
You don't know the name? I love it. Let's see. What is
The first COVID-19 vaccine given to a person?
male? Yeah. What is the name of the first male COVID-19 vaccine?
The first man vaccinated right after Margaret Keenan was William Shakespeare, an 81-year-old British man from Warwickshire. What? That's his name? William
Yes.
Shakespeare?
Is
It's right
Is-
there.
is that his real name? William Shakespeare? The first male ever.
Yes,
Ever.
that was really his name. The man who became the first publicly known male to receive a COVID-19 vaccine was genuinely named William Shakespeare, just like the famous 16th century playwright.
What's the famous quote of William Shakespeare? All the world is a stage.
Yeah,
Male and female are merely players.
Yeah, I know, man. Well, that's the thing, though. It's an IQ test for the country, man, or the world. It's an IQ test. It's who is even, because I never even thought of this, and I'm a bright person. Who would even think to know or ask this question, right? You have to do your due diligence to line up the facts and figure out that it's all a show.
Kudos to Joey, my buddy. He said, "Do you know that?" I was like, "No."
Oh, wow.
I almost shit my pants on the show. William freaking Shakespeare.
The first woman bamboo.
No, Margaret Keenan.
Yeah, Margaret Keenan. Yeah, well, they got to give you a real name and then the stage name, you know, and they got to mix it up for you, man.
What would you say is the biggest psyop of the whole humanity?
The globe.
Really?
Yep. Because that's the monumental, that's the foundation of a lie. So if you think you live on it, that means that you're more, in my opinion, you're more susceptible to believe all these false narratives, because the playing field that you like, if you don't know where you live, how do you know who you are? How do you know where you came from? How do you know where you're going? So if you think you came from monkeys, evolved from, well, you have to. You have to. If you
But
think
mind you, it's a theory. It's not proven.
what's not proven?
Evolution theory.
Yeah, just like gravity is a theory.
Right.
No, yeah, I know. But we're taught it in kindergarten, right?
Yes.
So you walk into kindergarten, which you're used to just being with mom and hopefully dad the first 5 years of your life, having a good time playing, maybe learning how to draw your name or something. You take them to public school, you would expect like, hey, let's extend learning how to write your name. No, here's a globe. This is where you live. And they're so little that they're just like, what? Like, why don't we fall off? Gravity. But what about gravity? Yeah, but I don't understand. Gravity. Okay. They move on. And then the next year they learn a little bit more. The next year they learn a little bit more. And then that's it. It's not like they teach us this in high school. You have a brain by then. You have critical thinking by then. Imagine if they started teaching that you live on a ball earth freshman year of high school. It would never work. Kids are sponges. You could tell the 5-year-old that gravity is cabbage, and cabbage holds the planet in place. It's a really strong vegetable. And the kid's going to go, wow, okay. And Santa's coming in December too. The Easter Bunny's coming. So they get them young. They get all of us young. They even give you, that I think that like a worksheet right away of the planets and the sun's in the center, and you got to line them up and all this stuff in American public schools. So they want it right out the gate. They want your mind. They're gonna take your mind away. They're gonna make you feel insignificant. You're a speck. You mean nothing, little kid. You're a speck of dust in an infinite universe. This is all random. You evolved from monkeys. You came from a Big Bang, which, by the way, the Big Bang Theory was invented by a priest, I think in the 70s, maybe. So it's a recent theory. People are like, the Big Bang's been around for centuries. No, it hasn't. It's a brand new theory. Yeah, George Lemaitre is his name. Could be wrong on the date, but it's George Lemaitre. He was, I think, Einstein's buddy.
1915 to 1970.
Oh, yeah, I was way off, sorry.
Einstein's general relativity. Okay.
No, there it is. 1927, George Lemaitre,
Yeah.
Catholic priest and physicist who proposed the universe beginning from a primordial atom, the Big Bang, quote unquote, the Big Bang. So he suggested the Big Bang theory.
Proposed.
Of course.
And I propose it's not true. Why don't they listen to me?
Because you're not Einstein's friend.
Okay. I'm not a scientist.
And you have to understand, with Einstein, he's another actor. He's not, there's very low IQ. I know people might kick me back for that, but I'm sorry. Very low IQ. Listen to the man. No one really listens to him. Number one, he always reads from a script. He doesn't know how to talk. He's not intellectual. He's an actor. He was one of the original crisis actors, in my opinion, because Tesla was getting so popular, Nikola Tesla, with free energy.
You think he was real?
I wasn't alive then. I don't know. Could he have been a fake character? Sure. But either way, the story goes that, because it's just a story, we weren't alive then. The story goes that Tesla was getting popular with this free energy stuff, and especially from the old world, kind of reverse engineering the old world stuff, where they had all the free energy in buildings and towers and everything. And they're like, no free. Here comes the Rockefeller. Rockefeller education comes in. And they're trying to put the Tesla theory, all that, well, kind of truth, not really theory, but they're trying to put that aside. So they bring up Einstein. You're going to be our guy. You got the crazy scientist hair. You're perfect for the role.
Right.
And he's just reading a script. The gravity and this, that, whatever. And then his friend George Lemaitre, like, well, the Big Bang Theory. And I'm a priest, so this comes from God, right? Because a lot of people back then were fighting it, man, because my buddy Dave Weiss, he interviewed a lady, Ruth Heath, back right before COVID-19 started, like the week of the lockdowns, right before, because they shut down all the nursing homes. But he was going into nursing homes. I think that because someone in his family was at this nursing home in Connecticut. He went in there to visit his family. And then he's like, hey, while I'm here, he asked one of the directors, like, is there anyone over 100 years old that still has their screws? that I could speak to. He didn't say why. He wanted to talk about the old world.
Right.
To see what they remember about the world's fairs and everything. And they're like, yeah, I think her name was Ruth. She's, I think, was 100, 203. Perfect. I mean, just memory, sharp, converse, not, no senile whatsoever. And so he went up to her, talked to her about the world's fairs and what she remembered, and she gave her take. But then at the very end, because he don't want to be controversial, but he's like, what were you taught? Before I go, what were you taught as a kid? Where'd you go to school? Public school in Connecticut. Public, not private, not religious, no. What were you taught about the globe? She wasn't. Didn't exist.
And she went to school in 1920s?
I believe so. This is right around the Rockefellers taking over the Board of Education. She said there was no such thing as the globe. It was the earth was flat. This is what they taught. This is what they learned. This is what they knew. It was fact.
Really?
Rockefellers came in. See, this is what people don't understand is that I get
She
this.
said that she was taught this?
That the earth was flat in public school. And then Dave Weiss went even further. And once he found that out, he went further in detail, started contacting people. Who do you know? Who do you know? Of course, you can't go to, he wanted to start going into all the nursing homes after that, but they locked down, right? He blames himself as a joke that interview made this COVID-19
Cost, yeah, the lockdowns.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's far-fetched, but it's still funny to think about that way, the way it lined up, right? But he started making calls and trying to figure out, and then he started hearing other stories of people that they were being taught the earth was flat even through the 40s, 1940s, 30s, and 40s. It was still, and then in the 50s, it was both. They started saying, there's a globe, it's flat, we don't know. And then by the 60s, after NASA came out, they destroyed it. They started actually making fun of it in our public school books, showing a earth is flat photo. Like the ancients used to think the earth was flat, and they would show like this pancake in space, which no one believes in, and then like ships are falling off, right? But in reality, it's a ball, and everybody's safe. And it was like for kids, right? So they really pushed it hard. But I look at it like the Rockefeller education system started in the early 1900s. And if you didn't teach their books, you weren't going to be funded by them. You were going to shut down eventually. So these schools were like hungry to stay open, and they're like, yeah, we'll teach it. You're going to fund us and give us free lunches on top of it. Like, yeah, let's do it. And this whole system of the heliocentric model really took off. But the problem I have is the kickbacks I always get is like, yeah, but the Greeks knew for thousands of years. No, that's a story in the book. That's a new.
They knew, right?
It's a new book with a new model. We have to push it. And in that book, it's going to say that 2,000 years ago, they figured this out, right? Mm-hmm. It's only a story with characters involved. So it's not reality that for thousands of years, they knew the earth was a ball. This is a new construct, a new satanic system. You can't have a new world order without controlling the population. And the ball is how you control them. Because think about the Truman. You ever seen the Truman Show?
Amazing movie.
Yes.
I encourage everybody.
One of my favorite movies of all time. But my favorite part of the Truman Show, there's a lot, but my favorite part that nails it is when he's a kid, he's in school. It's a flashback. He raises his hand. What do you want to be when you get older? He raises his hand, and Truman says, he stands up. He says, I want to be an explorer, just like the great Magellan. And she pulls out a globular map. Oh, you're too late. There's nothing left to explore. And that's the point of it. They want to cut that off from our brain. We're born with senses to love, hunger. I think exploration is one of those natural God instincts. It's shut off as soon as you get to kindergarten. There's no exploration. Everything on this ball has been explored. Just pay your taxes, die of cancer, shut up. No more exploration. So, when Admiral Byrd went to go travel past Antarctica to explore, he couldn't get in by boat. It's documented. The ice wall is too high. They're not going to be able to climb that. They had to go back, get approval. They had to fly over there. They flew over there with aircrafts. I think they were airships, not documented. That's my opinion. But they said they flew. They flew over the ice wall to go see what's over there, to explore Antarctica. And deep past the ice wall, he was there for many months. When he came back to the States to have his Longines Chronoscope's first interview, as soon as he got back, he went on live TV. And they asked him, they said, what's up? Like, what did you see over there? And he says, well, I saw another continent the size of North America over there that no one's ever seen before.
He said that?
He said that on live TV. And right after that, all of a sudden there's a treaty and then NASA starts. So you have to see the timeline. Once they discovered there's more land, They quickly start a treaty where me and you can't go over there and explore.
Correct.
It's banned.
That's true. That's true.
Now, granted, for your audience, you can visit Antarctica. You got $20,000, $30,000. You got a pre-approved. You have to get it approved from the government first. And then on top of that, it's very limited time and only limited zone. So there's little tourist bases, right? There's one on Rothschild Island. That's what it's called. And then there's one.
Rothschild Island.
That's what it's called. Then there's one. The most common island I think that people visit when they do Antarctica tours is called Deception Island. Look it up. So Deception Island is a place, a common base that's used over there. Rothschild Island as well.
Bro,
What?
yes, Deception Island is 100% real, and it's one of the most fascinating and unusual.
I'm not going to lie to you.
Deception Island.
Yeah.
They tell you.
Well, it's a revelation of the method. Everything is told, right? So when you go, people are like, my cousin went to Antarctica for a week. So this whole, we can't go over there. No one said you can't go to Antarctica. You can't explore Antarctica. You can't go to Deception Island after you pay 30 grand for 1 week. You only get a certain amount of time there, and you got to get the heck fuck out of there. If me and you paid all this money to go there, number one, approved by the government, they probably run my name and say no way. But
By what government?
America.
So
Wherever you live. So America.
There are certain amount of countries that run Antarctica, right?
So they say.
Yeah.
So they say. But it's just say me and you paid 60 grand. We went over there for the 1 week tour, right? It's heavily controlled. There's zones where you can't go outside. There's flags. You can't go past here. Their excuses like sinkholes and like they try to scare you, right?
Sinkholes.
Yeah, like you're gonna die if you go past this flag type of thing because they don't want you to go anywhere.
But that's my life.
Doesn't matter.
Oh, they care for me?
I'm sure that you have to sign the approval that you go with the rules. I'm assuming, of course. But if we went over there, there's no chance, 0% chance that we're like, you know what? We'll be back in a few years. We're gonna head that way. No chance. So how can we know what Admiral Byrd saw if we're not allowed to go over there, right? That's number one. Number two, you have to see the timeline of it all because they already knew about more land past Antarctica in the 1800s. There's many firsthand eyewitness testimony books. One's called Iron Republic. I recommend that for everyone.
Iron Republic?
Iron Republic. That is a firsthand eyewitness testimony of a man that this was the late 1800s. He was tired of the tyranny, okay? So he lived, I believe, this guy that got the ship together with his crew, I believe, I could be wrong, I'm pretty sure he lived in New York, okay? Now, in the late 1800s, I'm sure you'll see it eventually, the film I made, Old World Order, the great fires were going on all over the country. They were burning all of these old world buildings, burning them down, disintegrating them. They didn't want people to know the true past, ancient civilizations, right? And so I think it lines up perfectly with his story because he's like, dude, there's a lot of tyranny, and I'm completely summarizing the book here, but there's tyranny going on in the States. We got to get the F out of here. We got to just go. Just get in our ship. They have big cruise ships. Let's just go. We end up in Africa. They're burning down our country. We got to go. So he gets in his ship. He goes and he travels south and he gets lost at sea. He documents the whole thing. He sees stars he's never seen before. None of the stars we see going around us. More stars over there. So they're lost because they don't have GPS, you know. Mm-hmm. They're traveling by the star patterns, but they start getting lost because they're like, whoa, what are these star patterns? Where are we? He gets through an inland through Antarctica with a ship. They travel a lot longer. They're like, where's land? Where are we? What is going on? They're traveling for so long. He ends up seeing land in the distance. Thank God they don't know where they are. Maybe it's Europe. Maybe it's Africa. They don't know. But they don't know by the stars. They have no idea what's going on. They stumble upon land. They call themselves, they're like, we're North America, Iron Republic. That's their continent. They're not, I wouldn't say giants, but very, very, very tall human beings that they approach. Tall. But this is advanced technology over there that he's documenting in the book. Flat screen TVs on the wall. This is a book in the 1800s, by the way. Flat screen TVs on the wall, Bluetooth technology, all the stuff that we have now, like they had then in those lands. Like,
but what would you believe them? Believe this book? That this is not just a sci-fi book, let's say.
Oh, I'm sure that mainstream would call it sci-fi, of course.
It says the Iron Republic is a fascinating and often misunderstood work, especially in alternative history and hidden lands discussions.
Yeah. I mean, are they going to just, ChatGPT is going to tell you that the book's real,
Right.
you know? And this book was buried. I mean, what a great book if it was fantasy. Why have we never heard about it till recently, right? This is something that they've buried, they covered up. There's another book called Smoky Gods, similar situation. The point is, even if you thought it was sci-fi, they're still talking about more land beyond Antarctica, multiple books in the 1800s. They're talking about civilizations that are advanced, that have technology that was not supposed to exist back then.
Late 1800s, he never saw TVs, Bluetooth technology, but he wrote about it.
Yeah, but it was
So
there.
so it means
We take their technology and bring it here and sell it to the public. And they always say like,
they invented it in the garage, bro.
Yeah, well, no, well, that's the thing, though. They, like you were just saying about AI. I mean, Sora could have been 20 years ago. They're just giving it to us now. Same thing. TVs could have been out for hundreds of years, and they didn't want to give it to the people, in the plantation that they control via the 7-continent known world we know of, the center of the earth. They didn't want to give it to us. They rolled it out much later, and they charged us a lot of money for it, and they control us with it, right? They go get this technology, they reverse engineer it, and they sell it to us on their demand when they want to release it to the public, similar to AI. But I look at it from the perspective of, even if you thought it was fake, oh, this book's just fantasy. But look at all what they're documenting is insane. It's insane, and it matches with a lot of other books in the 1800s, right? And a lot of older maps that have more continents. There was a map that they found in a Buddhist temple from 1,000 years ago, and it had our 7 continents there with a circle, and then continents all over, all over the place. So, oh, that's just fantasy. Well, yeah, you can't keep saying fantasy, fantasy, fantasy when it all lines up to they're hiding this from us. So what a perfect way to hide it. You take the 7 continents that people know about. The public already knows there's 7 continents by the 50s. And they wrap it into a ball and say that's all there is. And now if you're like, well, I want to explore, I want to double check. You can't legally. So they've put us on this ball to, it steals your mind. And it steals the mind of a child. There's no more exploration. There's no want. And then when someone says, hey, the earth is a stationary plane, and for all we know, it's an infinite plane. How will we know that? We can't go check. We can't see where it stops, right? We can't check anything. We have to take their word for it. Who's they? The Rockefeller Book of Education. And they come and they get rid of all this religion out of schools. They push this globe, this big bang, come from monkeys, evolution. And that's the norm now. And that's why, to me, that's the biggest psyop that ever existed. Because as soon as you get your ball taken away from you, no one wants to, it's my ball, I don't want to get rid of it. As soon as you take the ball away from the kid, adult, but you take it away from the kid, now the world is one big wondrous thing. And we look around and go, where are we? Who are we? We need to find that out to really show our true power as humans. And we've been lied to about it all. So it keeps us kind of in this controlled field because, if just say there was 3,000 continents.
Unlimited resources.
Unlimited resources.
Everything.
Why would we stay here knowing what's going on in this known world?
Why
right?
would we have to go to Iran to kill Iranians?
Correct.
For what reason?
Yep. I know. But my point is just like that guy in the 1800s, when there's tyranny going on, you get up and leave and you go somewhere really far away and you go camp over there, right? We don't have that ability anymore. They did. They had the ability. There was no treaty back then. But you have to look at the timeline. Byrd found more land. 6 months later, he dies. Out of nowhere. He dies. I think he got the heart attack gun, in my opinion, but he dies. So they bury the story with him. As soon as Byrd noticed more land, they covered that up. They started a treaty that we can't go there. And then NASA starts. So it's this timeline of deception. When NASA starts, most people don't know that when they started, it was Jack Parsons.
Occultist.
Yeah, a bunch of occultists. Walt Disney has his hands in that and starting the organization.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And then I don't know if it's public, bro, but Walt Disney was friends with all of them. Walt Disney's the one that had the animation studio. Walt Disney's the one that had these green screen type of things back then to make all these films and everything. So
yes, Walt Disney really did help NASA.
Oh, they admit it.
His influence was actually quite important in getting the American public excited about space exploration. The biggest
course.
filmmaker of
They needed
that
his
century.
They needed his CGI type of animation. Which, if you look back in the '60s at NASA stuff, it's so bad looking, right? You know,
Bro,
it's
Apollo
so
11 lifting off the moon.
it's so
That's
bad.
insane.
Not for its time,
Yes, that's what
right?
I told you.
Yeah, not for its time. It's fucking awesome for its
Awesome,
time. Oh my
believable, right?
god, and it's so grainy and black and white. And you know, I can't get cell phone service in your parking garage here,
100%.
but they're on the landline with the president, right? Okay,
And you get the picture the next day.
it's right there behind him. Yeah, I know.
No, they get the picture in the newspapers the next.
Yeah, the next day.
You have to travel 3 days, guys.
No,
Ask the question.
the moon's right there. It's a cold light. The moon's a mystery to me, though. People are like, well, you're a flat earther. What's the moon? I'll be the first to say I don't know, and that is an honest, transparent answer.
Yes.
We should all say that. We should all look at those lights in the sky and go, I have no idea. I just know that light is hot, that light is cold, and it looks like the stars are some sort of frequencies, some sort of energy type of things. Because when you zoom in on the stars, it looks similar to, like, say you're in a helicopter and you're looking down on mansions, and one of these mansions has a giant pool circle.
Yes.
And you see the water
Exactly what
ripples.
it
You see
is.
the water ripples, right?
Yes.
The light, they have LED lights in their pool, right? And they see the water ripples. And that's what it looks like when you zoom in on these stars. They're all different. They all have these like frequency-looking, angel-looking twinkles about them. Even the planets, which were wandering stars, they hijacked the wandering stars, called them planets, because they want people to think there's life up there. There's people that live up there.
What's
no,
a
there's
wandering star?
all the planets. So the planets used to be called wandering stars. It's kind of, they have their own track.
Okay, that's because they move.
Yeah, well,
Wondering that.
all the stars are moving around us, but if you look at the North Star, Polaris, doesn't move. The sun, moon, and stars are always going around Polaris all the time. It doesn't. There's no parallax. Nothing's. You know, we're supposed to be traveling millions of miles through space and all this stuff, but yet our ancestors, their ancestors, saw the same exact stars doing the same exact motion. Right? We're not moving. But everything above us is moving. The sky is a clock. It's a perfect clock that God made. And I think in terms of the extension of the earth, however much more land there is, there's more stars we can't see here. We can't see them. But there's a lot of stars traveling around a giant earth. I think earth is way, if you want to call all of it earth, it's way bigger than they've ever taught us. Huge. Because when you look at a ball, 24,000 miles in circumference, with an equator, right? So if 24,000 miles in circumference, using their math, it's 8 inches per mile squared. Not of curvature, not 8 inches per mile squared, because it's going in it's going down. It's going away and down. So, you know, we see things 100 miles away. I've been to the other side of Lake Michigan near Chicago, and you can see only certain days when it's clear. Across the lake, you can see all of downtown Chicago across. That's like 60, 70 miles away. You're not supposed to see any of it. I mean, literally, maybe the top of the antenna of the Sears Tower, maybe you would see that, but it'd be kind of tilting down too from the curve. It doesn't. It's all there. Only a few.
Yeah, it has to be tilted.
Only a few times a year. The conditions have to be right. The conditions have to be right in the lake for you to see it. But especially with these cameras now, the Nikon P900, Nikon P1000, 125x zoom, it's unheard of to the public. I think that came out in like 2012, 2013, which is why the flat earth really skyrocketed, because people were zooming in on these boats that were going down the curve, but they zoom in on the horizon, it opens it up again, straight across from you, there's the full boat with the new horizon far behind it. So it's not going down the curve. It's leaving your eyesight. It's the vanishing point. We all drew that in art class, the vanishing point, that center line. Kind of like you're in a big hotel in Las Vegas or something. I mean, there's hundreds of rooms on one floor. Well, if you look down the hallway, the light above the door is now on the ground. But you know it's not on the ground.
Right.
It's just the way your eyes work. That's how everything works. So when the sun's going away from you, it looks like it's going down. It's just going away. And it's such a small light and close to us, right above us, that, and I always tell people, look at sunset. You'll see the clouds are glowing orange underneath the sun.
What does it mean?
But none of the clouds anywhere else are glowing. It's a local light. It's shining on it's right above the cloud. Not 20 miles up, probably 100 or 200 miles.
Not 93 million miles.
Million miles. If it was 93 million miles away, all of the clouds at half the planet, not just your state itself or the city you're in,
Would be light up.
would be all evenly distributed. All of it. And same thing with above the ocean. So if you're in an airplane and you see the sun, you see this big hot spot on the ocean. It's because it's like a flashlight. And it's right there shining on the ocean. The whole ocean would be evenly lit if it was 93 million miles away. It's period.
And guys, and that's called science.
Correct.
Literally, that is
Real science.
Right.
Yeah, not pseudoscience. Pseudoscience is what we're all taught as kids, and it's believable for children as you become an adult because it's cool, right? It's like, wow, look, we're all spinning and we're floating and we're this and we're that. It's very fantasy pseudoscience that people don't want to get rid of because they love it. They love it. They love Star Wars, all the propaganda about it. They love, but Star Wars is real. It's just here on Earth. There's probably other, say the Earth is like a circle, right? The circle of the Earth with all the continents we know of. You go outside of Antarctica, maybe there's another circle here with more continents.
Like cells.
Maybe they have their own sun and moon over here. I don't know. Never been there. This is just speculation. But what I look at it as, when we see like Venus, right, from here on Earth, we see Venus. So we don't see it every night. When we do see Venus come into view, it's so bright. It's like as bright as our sun, but it's so small and far away. It's like, maybe that is their sun over there, because if there's another circle here, here's our known world, here's their known world. Maybe Venus is when it comes out the outer tropics, it comes into view into ours. That's why we don't see it all the time. So if you were in another world over here, our sun would look like Venus to you. That's going around us. Just speculating. But it would be nice to know. And that's the thing. But like, well, why can't you go prove this? Well, it's illegal to prove. We would have proved it 2013, 2014 when this was coming up. We would have been like, hey, let's just go to Antarctica and travel over there when you can. And plus, how are you going to get there? I don't think airplanes can get there. Airships could get there, but they've hijacked airships. They took it away from us with the Hindenburg. That's another false flag. They just blew it up on TV. Oh my God, everybody's dying. And then it's like, everybody's like, okay, no more airships. They're too dangerous. What? Because one blew up?
The same thing went with the Concorde, right? One plane blew up. That's it. We're not doing this anymore.
True.
Most of the people don't know. The science guy, Bill Nye, is he an actor? Yes. He's technically both a science communicator and an actor. Guys, an actor.
He's an actor.
Telling you about the science?
Yeah.
He's not a scientist.
It's like Bill Gates telling you about vaccines.
Right.
He's a computer programmer.
Yeah. Doctor.
Yeah. Dr. Bill Gates.
Okay, give me 3 bulletproof facts about the Earth being flat that even globers cannot deny.
Well, I can kind of flip it on them. I like to kind of flip it on the globe facts are all lies, and they can't get out of them. There's no photographs of Earth from space. NASA openly admits this. It's all, what they do is they say it's data that they take and they put it in Photoshop and they wrap it around the ball. There's a guy named Robert Simmons. Robert Simmons is one of NASA's lead graphic designers. You remember the blue marble? You remember the blue marble famous photo? So when iPhones first came out, you couldn't even change your wallpaper.
That one?
That might be I don't know. They all look. I mean, pick your favorite one. They're all different. Apparently, the oceans have different colors.
Right.
But the blue marble itself was the famous one that was on all the iPhones when you bought the first iPhone.
Yes.
And you couldn't even. I don't even think you could change the wallpaper. So again, programming. You get a new iPhone. And you're like, it's that, right?
Oh, Homeland.
Yeah.
Okay.
So. Robert Simmons was interviewed about this because he designed that on Photoshop.
The whole picture.
Yeah, he works for NASA. He said it's Photoshop because it has to be. That's his words. It's Photoshop because it has to be. He claims they gave him data strips of the Earth, and he put it into Photoshop and basically put it on a spherical thing on Photoshop to put all the Satelloon imagery of it, right? So it's one thing to say, hey, here's one thing I'll say. When there's any flat Earth versus sphere Earth debate, you would think someone that has all this evidence of that we live on a sphere What should be the first thing they bring to the table? Photos and videos.
Live video.
They don't. They don't even want to touch that topic because there are none. There isn't any. So what they do is they start with there was a test from hundreds of years ago, sticks and shadows, and they come up with these Rockefeller fables, and they want to use that as evidence. But no one listening has self-evidence of a ball spinning around the sun. You don't. If Apollo, if you were born today, at this age, you have nothing in your brain. You don't even know your name, but you're human. And you got Bill Nye, the science guy, here to tell you his version of where you live, and you got me. I'll start. You're not moving. Does it feel like you're moving?
No.
Does it feel like you're spinning?
No.
Does the sun and moon in the sky look about the same size?
Yes.
Do they look like they're right there?
Yes.
Okay.
Close by.
Yeah, close by. Does it look like they're moving in the sky, these lights? They're moving in the sky? No one stares at the sun for 3 hours, but if you did a time lapse, does it look like it's moving?
Yeah.
Okay. And I would kind of leave it at that. It's very simple. I'm not too sure what's going on. I don't know how much land there is, but we're not moving. And the stars, I wouldn't even say that because it's too obvious. I would be like, yeah, we're just here. We're the basement of the universe. The sky is the clock, which is how clocks were invented. The sky is the clock, perfect clock. Then Bill Nye comes up. Well, here's the thing, Apollo. We're actually spinning 1,000 miles an hour around that light. Not that light, though. That light spins around us, but we're moving millions of miles an hour through the galaxy, and we're getting farther away. And he just blah, 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 all this pseudoscience. You'd believe me instantly. You'd be like, who the hell is this guy? Arrest him. What the hell's his problem? So let's start with your own senses. Everyone listening, whether you believe in a globe or not, well, actually, specifically, if you do believe in a globe listening, you don't have any self-evidence of it. All you have is a story you were taught. We were all taught in kindergarten that you think is real. It's a belief. I know the earth isn't moving. I don't feel it moving. People are, well, yeah, but they don't want you to trust your senses. They want you to trust pseudoscience. Trust them. It's a black budget, black hole. NASA steals $60, $70 million a day from taxpayers in America. And all of the space agencies do all across the world. So they're stealing tax money to give you what? CGI, ISS, trickery. What do they really do? I always tell people, you live in the globe, what makes you think that? Like, why do you, because, and they always default to the pictures and the videos. But they're fake. Now what do you have? And then I mentioned when Elon Musk sent the Tesla Roadster up to space. Remember that?
Yeah.
A lot of people don't want to remember that because it's fake. It's complete bull. But it was sold to the public as real and legit. Even Elon Musk was laughing at the press conference, and you could tell it's real because it looks so fake.
I don't remember that event. I just remember that. I just know that he launched the Tesla into space.
Yeah. As soon as they went right in on live on him once they launched it up there, and Elon Musk was kind of like ashamed. I mean, it looks so bad. And the first thing he says is, you could tell it's real because it looks so fake. And then he says, we'd use better CGI if we were going to use CGI. And it's like, why are you even saying that?
Yes.
Why aren't you just being like, yes, we did it, But he was kind of like, fuck, it looks so bad. And they buried that story. That should be a poster on everyone's wall in the world. How cool that, if it was real, I'm saying, how cool it was. We'd all have a poster of the Earth from space if there were real photos. We'd all have a poster of an eclipse. What a great photo that would be. They go up there with their rocket and an eclipse going on. They look down on the ball Earth and they see the shadow and the moon and the sun and all line up. It's all fake. So what if you were still born today, I'm still talking to you, and I had to explain the eclipse to you. My start would be, see those two lights in the sky? They're right above you. When one passes the other, it creates a small shadow underneath where that is. That's why eclipses only have little shadows. Most of the other side can't see it. You have to be in a specific part to see it because it's two small lights creating a shadow.
Right. He's
going to come in and say, no, here's the thing. That light is 93 million miles away, but it's really big. And that rock, dirty, dusty rock, I don't know how rocks reflect light like that and get back to us. We could read a book by a full moon. We have a shadow by a full moon.
Yesterday I saw that was full moon.
Yeah.
I had to close my...
And that's another thing.
Curtain.
Same thing with what I told you about the sun glowing with the clouds. Look at this full moon at night. anytime there's clouds around it, only the clouds right under the moon are
Yes.
glowing. I mean, like
Yes.
glowing, like it looks weird glow. And the rest of the sky behind you is black as night. All the clouds are black. That's a local light.
Local.
It's you have to trust your senses with this stuff, because we've had nothing but liars teaching us our education system since
but
day one.
Neil deGrasse Tyson said, another actor.
Yeah, but Neil deGrasse Tyson has also admitted, and I quote, that this whole sticks and shadow test, right, where they say that's the main proof of a ball Earth is that 500 years ago, whenever it was, Aristophanes, and he put a stick in the ground, and his buddy was 500 miles away or something like that, and he put a stick in the ground, and he saw a shadow, and he didn't, so the Earth has to curve. What I say to that is, did you call your friend that day? Did your friend walk 500 miles, took a horse? How did you communicate with each other to know at that same exact time you had a shadow and I didn't?
500 miles.
500 miles. Yeah. So
1,000 years ago.
how did you, however long it was, you could look it up. Aristophanes, I don't know, might have been 1800s or something, whatever test it was. And that's always like their main thing. They want to argue that the Earth's the ball because of the sticks and shadow. Well, Neil deGrasse Tyson was on an interview and he said that he brought up that sticks and shadows test. And he also said that if the Earth was flat and if the sun and the sun was small and close, the same test would work. Because now you have
wouldn't it?
now you have a very small sun right by the Earth. You could do this with yourself. You could take 2 AA batteries, right? Shut all the lights off in here. Take 2 AA batteries, put them on your table, put them apart, and put a light. Your phone light right here, right by it. This one right above the battery has no shadow. This one has a slight shadow on the right. The battery will have a shadow. It's a local light. And Neil deGrasse Tyson admitted that. Could be revelation of the method, could just be a slip up, but it's not like it wouldn't work. I'm going to quote my buddy Dave Weiss. I'm going to steal his verbiage a little bit. There's 3 buckets. Okay, one bucket is it works on a flat Earth, meaning evidence or a fact about what we see. This bucket is it works on a flat Earth only. This bucket is it works on a globe only. And this bucket is it works on both. Works on both, there's a lot in there. Works on both. Flat only, there's stuff in there as well. Globe only, it's empty. It's always empty. There's nothing that wouldn't work and be explained in the science, just science, that wouldn't work explaining it on a flat Earth with local lights. But there's absolutely nothing you can put in the bucket of this is only explained if it's a ball Earth and the sun's 93 million miles away and we're rotating around this galaxy and all this crap.
How can you explain seasons like spring and fall? Let's say the sun still shines in fall right now. It's slower than usual, but it's colder. But it's more hot down south. Why?
Not down south. Across. You have the Tropic of Capricorn and the Tropic of Cancer on the outside. You have 2 big circle routes at the sun. So we're in the north. We're in the center. North America, Norway's here. We're closer to the Tropic of Capricorn, right? Could be wrong. Could be the other way around. But I'm just giving you the broad example. I'm not a genius about these facts, but I do know the construct of it all. Meaning the lingo. I don't know every lingo the way these experts do. But I do know that if this local sun is now traveling, this is our summer, it's going around in the center, the outside, the sun, they could see it. It's still going around them.
But it's not that close.
It's not that close. So it's kind of like a heat lamp in a sense, right? Where the heat lamp is just on this inner circle. We have our summer. They have their winters here. Australia, south of South America, they have their winters. Now, as the sun, even though the sun's actually traveling in like an 8, the shape of an 8, as it goes around. So it's going around us, but it's always doing this like little 8 shape as it travels. I forgot what the word's called, but
I've seen those time lapses.
Yeah. So you could see that that's exactly what it's doing. So as it's traveling around, now as you fast forward 6 months later, the sun is now on this outside, traveling on the outside. So that's why
it's slower.
Correct. No, it's traveling faster when it's in the south. It's traveling faster. As it comes back in, it slows down, and then you get that 24-hour north where everybody in the north sees it for 24 hours. It's going back. Now it's going back around to travel and doing this thing. But 6 months later, when it's on the outside coming around, we have our winter. But if you notice, if you look, I don't have the map here or lights or anything to show you. I'm just using my fingers.
It's all in your film, right?
Yeah, I do show it in the film. Okay. I try not to show many things that I can't prove myself, but I do show basic information on that. But as the sun is traveling around the south, where Australia, the south of South America, where they're getting their summer now, especially the tropics, you notice that the light is still pretty close to the southern part of our country. So that's why in the winter, Texas is still kind of warm. Nevada's still kind of warm. California's still kind of warm. We're closer. We're kind of more towards that southern part of the country is more kind of in the middle by the tropics. So we're going to have warmer seasons. But as you see the sun travel, that's why the East Coast is so cold in the winter, because it's not reaching them. As the sun's turning, it's kind of getting that west coast, southern west coast tip of North America, where it's still going to be a little bit warmer. And again, when you reverse that, it's the same scenario where Australia is freezing cold. And you have to think that the name, everything's in the name, Antarctic, right? It's Antarcticing around. So if you're all the way here in Antarctica, the sun is not going around you like it would in the center. The sun is Antarcting, whatever the word is. I forgot that analogy, but and a lot of the globe people say, well, what about the star patterns? Because if you're in the south, they're going the other way or something like that. No, it's because you're all the way over here. You have to turn around to see the stars doing the same motion. The stars, the sun, and the moon, they're always going east to west. It never stops going east to west. But if you're all the way south and you're looking back at the center of the earth, they're going around the back of your head now. If you turn around, it looks like they're going the other way. There's many flat earthers that have displayed this with lights. So you can do this in a giant planetarium or something like that. You see the same effect. Even the same thing, if I give you a broad example, if me and you are in a giant building, call it 20 miles deep, just 20 miles of a huge building, and I say, look, man, take this, call it a motorcycle. Take the motorcycle, drive 10 miles down this building. Or imagine, though, there's lights on the ceiling. If you drive 10 miles down that building and call me, and I say, look, man, do you see this light right here that's above me? You're not going to see that. No. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It's there. You're too far away. So depending on where you are on this earth, depending on where the sun is, where the moon is, where the stars are, and the sun, moon, and stars are always going around our head, but the sun is going in and out of the tropics. In and out of the Tropic of Capricorn, Tropic of Cancer. It's going in and out. That's what seasons are. So, and it's weird too, because the globe model says that in our winter, in North America, the sun is
from the
millions of miles closer. Closer. Look it up.
Closer?
Yeah. The sun is closer to us in the heliocentric model in the winter.
Doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. Because think about it this way. A sunrise in the summer, in the heat of Miami or something, or the heat of Arizona, when the sun first enters your view, I know people say the sun comes up, it's just coming into view. As soon as it even hits that horizon line, you can get a suntan.
Right.
It's hot.
Right.
The second you see that heat lamp,
yes,
it's burning you. But the sun at that point, according to the heliocentric model, is farther away from you that season. It's really weird. And then think about the winter. The sun's right above you in the winter, right above you, literally directly above your head at high noon. And you don't even feel the heat on you.
Right.
Makes no sense. It's kind of like ass backwards. And again, maybe they do it on purpose, man.
During winter in North America, the Earth is actually closest to the sun.
During winter, yeah. Isn't that weird?
It makes no sense.
No, it doesn't. But none of it makes sense, though. When you actually take a step back,
Our whole planet has to be more cold when we're not that close to the sun.
Yeah, I know.
The whole planet.
I know.
Because it's small according to the sun.
Yeah, we're a little BB in the universe, yeah. But it's.
I just wonder, how do they explain this thing?
They just did. There is
makes no sense.
It doesn't make sense.
It's not an explanation.
And that's why they teach it to you in kindergarten. They don't teach it to you as a senior in high school because you'd be like, wait a minute. Well, that doesn't make sense. And wait a minute. I was in Lake Michigan and I saw Chicago 70 miles away. How is that possible? Like, we'd all have critical thinking questions when our brain gets advanced. But they teach us this shit with the Easter Bunny and Santa Claus. The difference is your parents, hopefully, tell you that Santa's fake, Easter Bunny's fake by the time you're 10 years old, maybe. But your parents also believe in this heliocentric lie. So they're never going to go, and by the way, little Timmy, you know, we don't live on a ball. That's fantasy too.
How do they know
real.
that the sun is 93 million miles away, not 92, not 94?
They don't. They don't, because it's changed over time. Hundreds of years ago.
How can they measure it?
It used to be 1 million miles away.
Oh, really?
Then it went to 60 million. Then it went up to 100 and I think 115 million miles away. Then they brought it back. In modern time now, it's been 93 for a while, 93 million. But yeah, it's not 93 million miles away. Again, all the clouds would be dispersed with the same exact light. The ocean lit up. Everything would be, I mean, it's the law of light. Plus you lose light the farther away it is. It gets faded even more. So the fact that we have glowing clouds underneath the sunset, glowing clouds underneath our local moon, and another thing too, you could take a thermometer, put it in 2 cups of water, make sure the water's the same temperature. Now we should have did it last night, but you put 1 cup with a thermometer right underneath the full moon, direct moonlight in the cup, right underneath the full moon. Take the other cup with a thermometer, put it in the shade somewhere, away where no moonlight's touching it. That cup's going to be 5 to 10 degrees colder within a few hours. The moon is producing cold light. It's cold. The sun is hot. Okay.
Did you do that experiment yourself?
Oh, I've done it. Yeah, I've done it. It works. Anyway, it's been documented since 2014. Multiple people have done it on YouTube, and it's all there. Anyone can do it. I mean, if the moon's producing cold light, the moon's definitely a mystery to me. I don't know what it is. But even someone like Crow 777, he did something called the lunar wave. He was documenting the moon, zooming in with I think the Nikon P900, zooming in on the moon and just keeping it there to see what's up. I mean, this is a mystery. But when he was recording some of this stuff, you'd see this like wave of water going over the moon, where it looks like, you know, possibly due to the water above, the ocean above. That's why the sky's blue. It's an ocean.
Mm-hmm.
But it's definitely just a light in water. I don't. So how can I know what it is? But I do know we can't land on it. We can't go there. These are, and possibly, what if they're portals, right? If you want to get really advanced with it, what if the sun is the Son of God, the portal when you pass? If you're vibrating high, your soul, it travels through the Son of God. You get to God through the kingdom, through the Son of God. That's a giant portal that your soul goes to. And if you're reincarnated or you're vibrating low, what they say is like, you know, the whole old saying of when you die, go to the light.
Right.
I wouldn't. The light would probably more than likely be the moon, which is a possible recycler, reincarnation. You go to the moon, you come right back.
Well, the whole Apollo mission, I want to say that was basically the Tower of Babel. I believe that they were trying to reach God, quote unquote, and reach something.
When were they trying to reach God?
When
The Tower of Babel. Yes.
Yeah,
Same thing with Operation
with the moon
Dominic.
landing.
Same thing with Operation. Well, the moon landing was just shot in the studio somewhere, or outside somewhere.
You don't think they even tried?
No, because of Operation Dominic, they would never try. They shot rocket or missiles straight up into the sky, and
Just to measure the height?
to see how high it can go. It should go for a long time if there's a bunch of space up there, but it stopped really quick. It went up and it just hit. And when it hit something, it spread across it. So there's a barrier above us. Some people think it's, you know, like a dome. I don't necessarily. I think it's more of like a toroidal field, energetic, where you can't pass, you can't get through. And the water is such a high, like a H3, like just the most firm water of all time that God created. You can't penetrate it, which is another reason why I think these direct energy weapons, everybody knows about the direct energy weapons and Maui and all this stuff. Everything blue survived.
Yeah.
Right? You know that? Yeah. And China's putting blue roofs on and all this shit, right?
Right.
Well, what color's the sky?
Blue.
Yeah, that's water. But that blue itself can never be pierced. God will never allow you to get through until it's your time. So I think that's the main reason that whatever laser they try to invent, you can't pierce blue. It's a certain frequency that God created that you cannot get through the blue. So again, let's go back to Dominic. They tried with the missiles. They knew exactly that they can't get out of here. So they have to fake it. They have to create NASA. They have to pretend and put fisheye lenses on their cameras to take a straight horizontal line and bend it evenly. Oh, look, there's the curve of the Earth out the ISS. No, they're probably just up 50, 60,000 feet. And you have this giant view of Earth, horizon to horizon is flat. But when you put this $30,000 fisheye lens on, it takes that flat line and bends it. Now, the thing, too, people bring up is this Felix Baumgartner Red Bull jump. You remember that?
Yes.
Yeah. And that's another thing. Globers, they love that. Well, yeah, but okay, maybe NASA's lying, maybe SpaceX is lying, but Red Bull, right? Why would they lie? Felix Baumgartner said he saw the curve of the Earth up there. Neil deGrasse Tyson, again, revelation of the method, has already spoken about this publicly at an event. He said that was a fisheye lens. He said, you don't see the curve of the Earth from where Felix was. Then why did Felix say that he saw the curve? Right. It's a show. It's a shit show. They don't even know what they're doing. They need to speak to one another before they go public. But Neil deGrasse Tyson said, you don't see the curvature of the Earth. It's like, you're a centimeter above a beach ball. You don't see the curve of the Earth. He said, that's a fisheye lens they used. Well, yeah, that's what NASA uses. That's what SpaceX uses. And a lot of these SpaceX rocket launches lately that I've watched, most people don't watch them. They see the clip.
Go like this.
Well, they all go like this, and
why?
then they land. I think they land in the Bermuda Triangle, especially specifically NASA. You have Houston Center, and then one in Florida.
Correct.
What's in common with those cities? They're right by the ocean. They don't go that way towards more of the plains. They don't go that way. They go towards the ocean every time.
Yes.
And their paths all cross into where the Bermuda Triangle would be, which is off to the public. So if they land their rockets there safely, we can't go there and record it because we're not allowed anywhere near the Bermuda Triangle. So they have landing bases in the Bermuda Triangle. So they put the rocket up, and as soon as it goes away from you, just like the sun, it goes out of your perspective. It looks like it went somewhere. The difference now, though, because NASA's doing that forever, the difference now with SpaceX is I think SpaceX is trying to throw it really in our face even more, because if you notice some of these SpaceX launches, they go higher than NASA. They go to the firmament itself. And as soon as that, it's like they know exactly where the top is. Right. And then they level out. Yes. And it looks like they put something on top of their rocket, kind of like, it's like an upside down jet ski now, where it's scraping, it's surfing on the water above, and you see the ripples of water coming from behind it.
If you zoom in.
You can literally see the water above moving. And then they land. And it's like, hold on, if you're going into space, why don't you just go straight up?
Right.
No one's ever even tried to do that besides some amateur rockets. Now, there's amateur rockets that have done that. No cuts, no edits, raw, where they put cameras all over the amateur rocket and they go straight up in the air. I think every time they've done that, within 73 miles,
man,
it stops. It hits something.
So you produced three movies about flat Earth.
Level, the next level, and Level with Me. It's a 3-part series.
Have you ever contacted, let's say, NASA employees?
No, because I know the drill, man. They're never going to sit down with someone like me because I'm authentic. They're going to sit down with people like Mark Sargent and make a movie called Behind the Curve and stuff like that, because, it's all staged at that point. They control it. They can't control a soldier of God. They can't control me. So they know they would look at my resume and go, there's no way we're sitting down with him. He's going to ask questions that are going to expose us. They wouldn't do it. In Level with Me, we had to sneak into NASA's facility, sneak in microphones, sneak in all this stuff because it's illegal. You can't bring it in. And we went up to an astronaut and questioned the ISS with the harnesses and all this stuff. So we try to do these moments where we want to get the gotcha moment, where it's like, what are you going to say now? You're not used to this. You're used to people lining up because they worship you.
Right.
They love you. You're a hero to them.
Everything's scripted.
You're not a fucking hero to us. You're a fraud. And we're going to question you to your face. We also went up to the Challenger people. Judith Resnick.
That's insane.
Well, she works at Yale University. And in Level with Me, my buddy camped out there for 3 hours waiting for her to walk. Just waiting for her to come outside at all. She finally did. He went right up to her with the camera. and questioned her, you know, about the conspiracy about you being on the rocket. I mean, she freaked out and just walked that way, realized she's walking the wrong way, turned around, beeline right through the door, went right in the building. Just answer the question.
So guys, for you that don't know the context, 1986 Challenger, 9 astronauts died, exploded, right?
7, I believe.
7.
Yeah.
2 of them had twin brothers or sisters, right?
They've changed that story back and forth, though. Now it's like, it used to always be that they're twins. Now it's like they were just brothers. They've changed it along the way.
So
It's all lies.
Judith Resnick,
Yes.
name, same last name, is a professor that works at Yale.
Correct.
Judith Resnick. Resnick last name is not that common.
Nope. Nor is that face, nor is the way she talks with her lip that goes up. Everything's exactly the same. My favorite is Dick Scobie, though. Richard Scobie. He's got like that palsy face where it's like leaning.
Yes.
And then the current doppelganger, it's the same face. Michael J. Smith is another one. They went into his driveway.
Michael J. Smith, an astronaut, died in 1986. Now there's a professor, Michael Smith, the same name, same face, but 30 years older. And
Same dimple there. The same exact dimple there.
And the eyes as well.
Everything. Teeth line up, everything.
And Richard Scobie goes by his second name right now, and he's the CEO of Cows in Trees.
Yeah. And then their startup video with the cow doing the same 6 NASA rocket thing.
Same name.
Go watch Level with me, guys. HibbelerProductions.com. Rent Level with me. Get it in 4K. But no, I mean, it's... We the first 22 minutes of that documentary, I think the documentary just runs about an hour 20 or so, but the first 20 to 25 minutes is about the Challenger. I want to make, I mean, because I started a new network, the Enlighten Network, and you know, Chemtrails was our premiere release, right? I eventually, we got other stuff going on. We have a debate show coming to Atlantic City soon. We're doing big things, but I want to do a passion project on strictly the Challenger. A to Z, the whole film. So not really flat Earth doesn't have to be mentioned in that per se, right?
At all, right.
At all, right?
You died.
Yeah.
Here you are.
Yeah, but I want to press it. I want to figure out where to find these people walking in the mall. I want to fuck with them because they've lied to us.
Right.
And I'm sick of the lies. They should not be dealt with courtesy and respect anymore. Like, I want to bombard these motherfuckers and actually go up to them and be like, you are a liar. We all know. And yeah, everyone wants to see the reaction. And she reacted the way I thought she would. Fucking ran away. Michael J. Smith had the smirk on his face like, before the guy even said why he's there. He walks up to Michael J. Smith, walking out of his garage. He said, hey, sorry to bug you, sir. He's looking real nervous. Like, why is this guy filming with his phone? He goes, there's something I read on the internet. And the guy goes, it's not me.
It's not true.
It's not me. Wait,
So-
I could have said there's a child molester in the area. You look like him. You don't know what I'm here for, dude. But automatically, oh, it's not me. It's not me. And then he goes, one time this guy was emailing me, threatening me, and I turned it over to the FBI. Who are you? As a normal person, apparently, you're just a professor. How do you have the FBI on speed dial so quick? Like, you're
How can you call
involved.
the FBI?
You can't, but
It's what,
I
nine-
guarantee he still
912?
he still contacted the leader of his witness protection program, whatever they're a part of, and that, to me, that could have expired by now. I don't know how long those last, but if you go back to the 80s, if we rewind to the 80s and we're in the 80s, no one knew YouTube was coming. No one knew the internet was coming. So these doppelgangers, these people that fake their own death, that's a part of this system. Because in my opinion, the reason they faked the Challenger is because no one gave a shit about NASA at that point. After the moon landings and how bad they were, NASA was stagnant for all those years. In between, there's nothing going on. No one was doing anything. They were getting no funding. No Americans gave 2 shits about it.
And now it's $25.4 billion a year, the budget.
Yeah. Because they played those heartstrings, man. They played that violin with the Challenger. They wanted to emotionally manipulate the country into not only caring about NASA again, but saying it's kind of a 2-part system where now the normal person like me and you that were kids that say we worship NASA, we love NASA, and it was tragic. This is why they brought TVs out in every school in America.
True.
Because they knew it was going to happen, a pre-planned event. Why didn't you pull the TVs out from the last rocket launch the year before? Why this one? Why, right? Because they knew what was coming.
Because there was a teacher on board.
Yeah. Teacher on board, dude. She was planted there 2 years before. George Bush Sr., picked her out of a hat, a name out of a hat. You're okay. You're pre-selected, crisis actor lady. And what happened was they got everybody involved. So the American teachers were filling in these forms that they want to go to space. And none of those people were going to be randomly selected. It was always going to be Kristen McAuliffe, always. Pre-selected lady to act. And when they're the universal trauma of all the children, right? But if me and you were in the 80s then, and we were children, and we're talking about how horrific this was. We saw it in school. We're so sad. We're crying. It affected us. We're scared. Wouldn't that make us never want to be an astronaut? I never want to go to space.
Yeah.
Trust the experts now.
Right.
Well, I'm not doing it.
And the training is so hard. Physically, it's impossible. You have to endure this 7 Gs or 9 Gs, right?
It's all bullshit, but yeah.
But if it's skating, it's like...
Correct. Yeah.
Floating.
Yeah, and then, it's a thing. If you think about just generally speaking, the ISS, right? They're traveling 17,500 miles an hour, right?
Okay.
If you're traveling 17,500 miles an hour with potential comets, satellites apparently floating everywhere, you have a very high chance of crashing into something, right? If you're not paying attention correctly. But they're just on there playing with water with their paddles. They're chasing each other with gorilla suits, They're talking about the Super Bowl.
Buttons and wires.
And there was the other thing, too, with the Super Bowl. Apparently, they had the Super Bowl winner jerseys on when this was years ago. And they're, I think it was the Patriots. I'm assuming it's the Patriots win all the time. And like, how did you know who was going to win if you're traveling, it's the second year you're in space, whatever they said. And like, they already had the jerseys of the winners. And yeah, the kickback is like, they had every team back there. And so, all right, man. It's just one big show.
So it's so expensive to get something into the ISS, but we're going to get like 24 jerseys just in case, right?
And for
this one.
Yes, and for the people that are watching that still believe in the globe and they love the ISS and they think I'm crazy, answer me this. Wouldn't you think that pretend the ISS is real. I have to pretend for this. It's real. It's up there. Where's the construction? I want to watch a video of them putting the ISS together, docking it in space. There's nothing. All of a sudden, it's in space.
Yes. How? How did you assemble?
Can you show us
it's huge.
Anything? They haven't even faked it because it's too hard to fake. Just like the eclipse from space. They can't fake that. That's one thing NASA's never even fucking touched is an eclipse from space. They haven't even pretended to do CGI and AI and because it's, it would be, I think it'd be very difficult to pull off in reality.
No eclipse from the space?
A video?
Yeah.
I'd love to see if they have one now. I've never seen it. I've been dying to see that, man.
What is that? Here it is.
Oh, they're showing a shadow. No, I'm talking about out the window, sun and moon crossing paths, where you see the ball Earth having the shadow on it. I could make that right now on my computer.
I believe Sora can do it in seconds.
That's a bad one. That's the thing, too, is like, once you kind of at least have some sort of, it's a fisheye lens. Once you have some sort of vision that, maybe some of this is fake, then you could kind of look at some of the stuff and go, yeah, that's pretty bad. What is this supposed to be? Total solar eclipse, 360 degrees. All right, move it with the arrow. Let's follow the fisheye lens around. No, the arrow, upper left corner of the video box. You see the arrows? Go upper left. You see the arrows there?
Yeah.
So move it around. Yep.
Here is what, the moon?
Oh, there's a balloon, as always.
Okay, so...
Why aren't they just throw a satellite, a tin can up there to film it? But they always have to have a balloon. Look at the balloon right about it, man.
Why don't they go live from any satellite? Just go live for 1 hour.
Yeah.
Get those, if they have the jerseys, get those astronauts an iPhone. Get them go by the window and just start Instagram live.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Here's like a cool idea. That would be awesome, right? I would love to see it.
It's 2025. We already would have had that. If they're ever going to do it, they already would have done
it. And satellites is for what? For the networking, right? For the coverage?
There are no such thing as like tin can floating satellites in space. All satellites are on balloons, so they're crashing all the time now. There was just one that crashed last week. in the somewhere in the United States where when these satellites crash, remember the Truman Show when that thing just fell from the sky?
Serious.
Yeah, serious. Exactly. That when these satellites are crashing, they've been crashing for years. They're satelloons, though. They're all on balloons. So when this technology that we think is just floating in magical space, when it actually crashes, because none of them are perfect, so some do crash. When they do crash, they're attached to balloons that can haul football fields. That's how big these balloons get.
Oh, wow.
NASA admits it, too. They admit that their Satelloon program, their weather Satelloon program, the balloon itself has the strength to pick up a football field and carry it across the Earth. So, and even when you look back in the 50s and 60s, they're shooting them up with balloons. Now, in Level With Me, the documentary, the third one, we went to the main facility. I think it's in a town called Palestine, Texas. That's one of the main facilities where they launch their satellites, okay? NASA. It's a NASA facility, NASA water tower. It's in the middle of nowhere in Texas, of course. They don't want public asking questions. But we went there. Me and my friend Tanner, we went there. And we were honestly, we were going there to just film the bit of the interview in front of their station to talk about Satelloons. That's it. But people were working in there, and they noticed our camera. We're on public property, though, across the street. Trucks kept messing with us. They would drive out, stop, look, speed off, you know, and we're like, cut, the noise, you know, these fucking people, man. Finally, a guy with a white truck, beelines, almost hits the camera. Beelines, pulls up on us. And we're like, oh, shit. He's like, the hell are you guys doing? I mean, super offended that we're filming. And we didn't know, we're doing a flat earth. No. We're like, oh, we love NASA. You know, we're acting, you know. We love NASA. We love your center and satellites and everything like that. We're trying to befriend this guy. We finally bring him down to reality, know that we're not a threat. Of course, he said, you can't be filming. I said, we're on public property. And Tanner's like, you know, there's no expectation of privacy in public, man. So eventually, he knew that he was already in my film. Probably think I'm just recording for fun, not knowing it's a fucking documentary. But I already had his permission. You're in the public. You can leave. Oh, you're gonna stay? Oh, you're part of the show now, buddy. Sorry, okay. You have the choice to leave. He didn't. I didn't put the whole thing in there, but it'd take an hour. We talked to him for a while. We were befriending him, calming him down. We're not here for anything nefarious. We're not flat earthers. We're just here. We love NASA, right? We're NASA boys. So finally, he's like, okay. He kind of talking nice to us and talking about how long he's worked there and all this stuff. And eventually, which is the part of in the film I put, we finally bring up the topic. I go, hey, so how many satellites do you have floating up there? He goes, what do you mean? I go, satellites. He goes, you mean Satelloons? I said, oh, they're all on balloons? He's like, as far as I know, what do you mean? And Tanner goes, I thought that they put him on rockets, shot him up, and then let him out.
Release.
And they release him. And he says, I don't know what you're... I mean, he was confused. And I go, wait a minute. You don't know about these satellites without balloons? And he's shaking his head no. He doesn't know about the satellites without balloons. They're all on balloons. And then I went back to the 50s and 60s. They're all on balloons.
Not like this.
Yeah, pick your favorite. Which one's real, Apollo?
Okay. Satelloons.
Yeah, but now NASA admits it. They have, even Google has Google Loon Project. There's all these big corporations. They just...
This is how this shit floats in space?
Yeah, this is how we get our data, probably weather data, cloud patterns, whatever. They're just sitting. They literally go up on the balloon, and they could sit there for up to a year. And they're geostationary. But so you mean to tell me, even if someone's like, no, but there's some on that are magical tin cans. If we're spinning around the sun 1,000 miles an hour and everything's moving millions of miles an hour, how is the satellite supposed to follow everything?
Right.
It's just going to be gone. I mean, it makes no sense. The only thing that makes sense is that it's on a balloon and the Earth is not moving. So they put one up over the circumference of the Earth.
And it stays there.
The data. Yeah, it stays there. They can remote control them, bring them down. But some crash. Type in, if you want, crashed satellite or satellite crashes or something. I don't even know how we would find it. Yeah. So look at that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 photo over. Yeah. There's look what it's attached to.
Google project Loon Balloon crashes in Chile.
Yeah. I mean, they all have balloons on them. And this has been going on for at least 12 years in my life. I've seen them.
But we've been told that satellites are for internet. But what actually is internet is for the cables under the ocean.
99% of all telecommunication in the world, 99% is underground sea cables. The 1%, in my opinion, are satelloons. That's it.
How did they manage to pull those cables under the water?
I don't know.
It's
I
like
wasn't
what,
there.
5 miles deep?
Yeah. Yep. And I think what happens is they come up on land, they feed them underground again, and they put them in these giant bases. And then what they do is they wire them. They probably connect them to all of the towers, right? So ground towers.
Mm-hmm.
Even, I mean, I've seen ground towers when you zoom in on them. The 5G, 4G for cell phones, right? Mm-hmm. Some people still think their cell phones connected to space. I don't know why. It's right. Your tower's right there. You can see it in your town. But you zoom in on some of these towers and you'll see a big thing, huge circle thing pointing like directed this way at the whole community. It says Dish Network, satellite TV, a Sirius radio. It's just ground base. And it's zoning in on a community, and they have them all over the place. And there's been sometimes I've had satellite radio in my rental car, and it's years ago, of course. I don't listen to it anymore. But it would stop. Once I enter a zone, it just doesn't work. Space is above me, I thought.
Right.
Well, why isn't it always working? But no, it's same thing with your cell phone. You go in the mountain somewhere, you go higher in the mountain, you get no service. Right. You're farther away from the ground towers that are controlling that circumference. You would think that if something's actually going on above you, you'd have the greatest signal on top of a mountain.
The higher they go, right? That's like in the movie.
Nothing.
I gotta get the signal on top of the mountain. SOS, Mayday.
You get nothing. Same with underground. You go in someone's basement, you lose service because you're getting farther away from the ground tower. Same thing with GPS. It's triangulation. It's ground positioning system. Okay.
That can only work on a flat surface?
Well, yeah, that's how they do it. I mean, even our maps that we're using for GPS is on a flat system. All video games, when they start to create the software for the video game, it's on an infinite plane. They start on an infinite plane, then they build their game. It's an infinite plane.
I know you gotta,
we gotta head out.
Plane to catch. Yeah. So, last 2 questions. Do you think we live in a simulation?
There's part of me that can accept the whole Matrix thing with the simulation and all that stuff, but I don't. I still try to combine it into a creator, that we have one grand creator,
Mm-hmm.
God,
and
created all this. And then there's some Bible people that'll push back at me and go, you talk about more land too much. God doesn't mention this in the Bible. And I'm like, when does God say there were 7 continents? Get back to me when you find that scripture.
Not in the Bible.
God's world is God's world, whether there's 20 continents or 3,000 continents. God created it all. And God created all the lights in the sky, whether there's more lights over there or not. I don't know how it looks from above. I have no idea what the system is. But, in terms of like a matrix system type of thing, yeah, I mean, I can see that the creator would have codes and built it with a coding system, sure. But, for me to actually know if we're in a simulation, I don't know.
Do you have a feeling you're living in a video game? So, for instance, if you look at me, it's rendered, but everything that right now is behind your back, it's not rendered.
Correct.
Have you ever had this feeling?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, it's all a part of life. I think that the mystery of life, I think that's why we're here. It's a test to figure it all out. Mm-hmm. And in the process of myself personally trying to figure it all out, I'm trying to document and I'm trying to get the word out there. And there's no bigger way to get the word of the truth out there than a film. There's nothing you can do. It's more powerful than music, a song. It's more powerful than just like a skit or something or a comedy show or just a movie, a documentary. That's the top way. If there's a better way, let me know. I'm all about it. That's the top way to help the masses awaken to the truth. And I think that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here now. I could have been born 100 years ago. I could have been born 100 years from now. God put me here now because I am needed, and I'm going to keep doing it.
But them right now, let's say releasing Sora 2,
Yeah.
they're going to tell us, oh, that guy, you did a film. Yeah, but that was AI.
My film was AI?
Yeah.
Well, I have evidence of the SD cards and the,
That's
I
AI,
would be able
that's
to prove
AI too. This guy doesn't exist. We don't exist right now. They watch it basically Sora 5.0. Two guys chatting for 3 hours right now.
Now, I get what you mean, and I think that is going to be the case moving forward.
Yes.
I see that problem.
In the near future.
But, you know, besides us going outside to film like a Project Bloombeam thing in the sky or something like that, and then it's real, right? We see it and we film it, we put it on our social media, and then everybody's like, AI.
Yes.
That's the problem we're running into, and I think that's why they're really rapidly putting this out now, because a lot of truth has been exposed.
Right. Too much.
Way too much, probably way more, but they can't stop it though. And that's why
They tried during the COVID.
I know, but I firmly believe that the demons, the evil of this earth is on its way out, because we've been living in Satan's little season, you know, whatever they call it, where he's reigned supreme over this earth. We're at the end of it, in my opinion. This is why all this shit's been hitting the fan lately, especially the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, it's accelerating.
Rapidly. There's people that are waking up that in my personal life, I never would have thought was going to wake up to things, and they are. Like, I mean, like, I literally 5 years ago, I would have wrote on a contract, I would have signed a paper saying this person would never wake up to any of these topics, and they all are now. And I would have lost money on that contract, trust me, but I would have signed it. That's how avid I was, knowing that these types of people in my life are never going to get it. Nothing I can do, but they are. So something's going on where, and again, in my opinion, we're at ends times, not for the world, not for us, not for humanity. We're at the end times of evil. It's going to be exiting the earth. We're going to have heaven on earth again. We're going to be living in harmony like our ancients did. You know, and that's how I feel. And that's what I want to portray as collective consciousness, that we all feel this way, and we could win this spiritual war that way if you feel that way.
I totally agree with you. The last question is always the same on the podcast. Let's have two assumptions with you. Assumption number one is President of the United States of America is the most powerful human being on planet Earth. Assumption number two, you become one. You become the president of the US. You have all these Secret Service 3-letter agencies at your disposal. They come to you and they say, congratulations. We love you, Sean. We know all the answers in the world. We know the truth. You ask us a question, we give you an honest answer. What would be your first question?
Good question. Man, I feel like I need an hour to come up with the best one.
I know, that's why the first one is the most important one.
No, I'm asking the people that work for me a question.
You want to know something. You ask them, they give you the answer. The truth. You'll know the truth.
How many continents are there in real life?
Okay, let's say they give you more than 7. Would you expose it to the public as a president of the US?
Instantly.
No fear of chaos?
I get what you mean by chaos, and I think that's why the white hats don't really move forward with this information. They do it in spurts, so people don't go into shock. But at the same time, I'm a different type of person. It's because I'm only relating this question to now, reality now. We're past that time. This should have been out a long time ago. People need to understand the truth about a lot of things. So I would look at it as, let's dissolve NASA, and the tax money that we've stolen from the people, everybody can get $1 million check right away. Here's $1 million check for every American. That's number one. Number two, public schools are now closed. We don't need them. I would present a homeschooling system for parents, because now they're millionaires. You don't have to go to work. You can teach your kids at home.
Lots of them would buy just freaking shit like Gucci, Louis Vuitton, iPhones.
Why?
Because people tend to spend their money. They got checks during the COVID. What did they do?
Yeah.
Spend all that money on Gucci shoes.
Understandable. And again, yeah, I don't want to create the chaos of it all, but it would be something that would instantly change the world, right? And I would also, you know, try my hardest, however, with the technology they have, to go up with cameras and film the water above. Sure. And actually go up there and have some sort of machine or something that can, you know, can't penetrate it, but show that it's water above, show that we're in an enclosed system. and try to prepare the minds of the youth in the future to the reality of the world we live in, because it's been stolen from us.
Right.
And it's very hard to get it back with the indoctrination. And the indoctrination camps, aka schools, they're just going to continue to push it. And that's why it's like we have to, no, or I could do what Rockefeller did and say, look, you're teaching this now across the board. The way he came in and said, no, this flat earth stuff in the 20s, we're pushing this, and we're going to have a story saying we've known this for thousands of years, and it worked. It did work. So I would create a truth school books system of truth, especially with health, how to help yourself, how to live a better life, how to save money, and stop taxes completely. No, we don't need them.
You can exist without tax.
Of course. I already have. I haven't paid taxes in 14 years. I never will again.
You never pay taxes?
14 years now.
Legally.
I'm talking about labor taxes now. No.
Oh, okay. Sean, God bless you. God bless all your family. God bless all your crew. And all the links are going to be in the description below for the movies that you produced, especially the new one, the Chemtrails. It's like $5, right?
Yeah.
$5, guys. Watch it and see it for your own eyes, with your own eyes. God bless you.
God bless you. Thanks for having me, Apollo.